of Toyota vehicles ready to hit the road when you are. Conveniently located at Airline at Goodwood in Baton Rouge. Visit us today or check out our website at allstartoyotaofbatonrouge.com for more details.
All-Star Toyota, people you know, cars you trust.
Jenny King, the king of clean, delivers reliable, high-quality commercial cleaning services through a proven franchise model that empowers local business owners. Jenny King's franchise owners receive the training, support, and resources needed to succeed, while clients benefit from tailored cleaning solutions backed by a global brand. Jenny King ensures consistent results, trust, and success for everyone we serve. Go to JennyKingCleans.com and find out how we can help you. That's JennyKingCleans.com.
Jenny King, the king of clean.
Hey, Baton Rouge. Remember Red Stick Sports, your hometown favorite since 1981. They've been here through every season, serving our community with pride. Still family owned and operated, they're more than just a store. They're a part of your life. Whether it's football, baseball, or any sport in between, they've got you covered. Any season, for any reason. Red Stick Sports is there for you. Swing by today and keep the spirit alive. Red Stick Sports, where every game begins. 5770 Essen Lane.
Why do billion-dollar insurance companies regularly delay and deny valid claims? Because that's how they got to be billion-dollar insurance companies. If you've been injured, I'd like to help.
Spencer Callahan is the one to see. Call 387-2323.
LA filing number 16-7969.
WNXX Jackson, KNXX Donaldsonville, and WDGL HD2 Baton Rouge. This hour brought to you by Spencer Callahan Injury Lawyers. LA 21-12681. Offices in Baton Rouge.
Good morning. It's 7 a.m. here on Tuesday, January 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 63 in hour one of today's show. We'll talk about the latest with the New Orleans Saints coaching search, and we will be joined by former LSU tight end Mason Taylor. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number one of Off the Bench, live from the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what is going on, y'all? I hope everybody's having a wonderful Tuesday morning. We are in Mobile, Alabama, day 2 of the Senior Bowl. Shout out to LeBears of Baton Rouge Hotel and Casino for sponsoring the trip out here, because we get to do cool things like this, like kick off the show with LSU's all-time leading pass catcher, the tight end position, and that is our guy, Mason Taylor. Mason, what's up, man? How are we feeling today?
Feeling great. Thanks for having me.
How does it feel, or would you, let me ask it this way. Would you have ever guessed when you committed to LSU that you would be introduced later as the all-time leading pass catcher?
I'd say it's definitely a goal of mine to do and to be an impact on a program like LSU like this. So definitely one of my dreams for sure, and being able to accomplish one of those things is definitely a dream come true.
One of the things we were talking about, Mason, was immediately you had to become that guy. I mean, you get to LSU and you're playing against Florida State in the Superdome. You're starting. What was that like to know that as a freshman you're going to be counted on that much?
Yeah, it was great. It just shows the coaches' trust in me that week, and I think I didn't early enroll, so I came in the summer, so everything was kind of fast. But, I mean, getting to adjust to that, I feel like it was pretty natural, and be able to have a shot in the first game like I did and be able to finish that game out was definitely surreal.
Well, and speaking of finishing out, we got to talk about the Alabama catch. We can do that a little bit later, because I want to look at this last season. We'll start talking about the Senior Bowl as well and what's coming up this week. But this last year, like you said, you come in the summer as a freshman, so you're really just thrown into the deep end of the pool. You're playing catch-up. You do great, asked to do a lot. But then this last year, you had become almost the security blanket of the team, right? The veteran leader. Like, whenever a play was needed, it seemed like Nuss looked for you to be some ridiculous third down conversion on the sideline. What was the process for you? What do you think the keys were to the process in kind of creating that growth over the 3 years and becoming that sort of bedrock player for the team?
Yeah, I think just showing that trust like I was talking about in practice and and building that confidence from the coach's standpoint, your offensive coordinator and your quarterback, just knowing that you'll be there and you'll be consistent on those downs where they need you. So being that reliable target was huge for me this year.
What about the difference in quarterbacks? Because you played with two really good ones in Jaden Daniels and Garrett Nussmeier. But was there a different mentality maybe playing with those two quarterbacks? Because very good, but very different.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I don't think they're much different than people think they are. They're both really hardworking, great work ethic, and I think just the way they lead and they both very great leadership. And the way they play the game, I mean, they play the game at a high level and they prepare for it. And they do a great job doing it.
Well, okay, then let's talk. Well, actually, first off, I want to ask you about this. What's it? How crazy is it what Jaden's doing in the league right now?
That's insane. That's insane. I've been following Washington throughout the whole playoffs because of him. But yeah, seeing what he do, it's honestly not even surprising because I just think the way he works every single day and the way he puts and dedicates his time to the game is definitely surreal.
Well, so, okay, you're coming from the same school. You mentioned watching Jaden. How about you have 3 of the Rookie of the Year finalists from LSU, teammates of yours? And so you coming from LSU, the talent that we've all put in the NFL, I have to imagine, like, that gives you a little boost of confidence. Like, hey, if they can go out there and do it, I know where I'm coming from. I played with those guys, and gives you, like, a little bit of a confidence boost going into the league?
Yeah, I mean, for sure. Like you said, them going and balling out their rookie years, I mean, it's truly extraordinary. So seeing them do that, and I was just playing with them for 2 years, is definitely a confidence booster for real.
All right, before we talk Senior Bowl, I mean, what does it feel like? Take us into the emotions of the Alabama two-point conversion, because that is a play. You have achieved what I think everybody wants to in some sense. You've achieved real football immortality, right?
Yeah.
Like, that is a play that will be played on every highlight package for decades to come. Even if you never do anything else in your life, you can show your kids, like, this is what, look at this, I did this. What did that feel like?
I mean, it's a blur moment. I mean, something like that caliber and that team. I mean, we had a great team, and Alabama was a tough team to play, and it was just a sold-out night in Death Valley. So, I mean, that just speaks for itself. And I think that game was just a surreal moment, and being able to, like I said, gain that trust of those offensive coordinators and my quarterback in such an early time to get the ball thrown to me in a situation like that is definitely surreal.
Did you get to keep anything from that? Because I'm pretty sure you threw the ball up in the air, so there's no telling where that's at.
They gave me the ball.
Oh, they did? Okay, good.
Let's go.
Caught it or
Oh,
something.
which equipment do you remember? Because we got to give him a shout-out. I don't know. Was it? I bet it was Chase.
After the video, you see them all running around grabbing the pylons and then grabbing the balls and all that stuff. But yeah,
the fact that they found a way to get that football back to you, that's incredible.
No, yeah,
I thought that was lost forever.
All right, so you talked about the growth that you've had during your years at LSU, getting to trust quarterback coaches. How do you approach now a week-long practice schedule where you don't have extended time to, like, create chemistry and everything, but you have to put your best foot forward because this is your audition for the biggest league in the world?
Yeah, I think that it's a game of football. I mean, at the end of the day, it's as simple as that. So just diving into the playbook they've given us and just trying to understand it as best as possible. And really, at the end of the day, just go out there and be yourself, showcase your talent no matter what you do, and just really just compete and give effort.
Do you have any personal goals in terms of skill sets that you think you want to show or you feel like maybe people are doubting you on?
I just want to show my pride in and not coming off the field and being that all-time tight end and doing everything for the team. So doing that run game, protection, and running routes, just making sure I show and showcase my complete tight end nature to doing everything tight end is really important for me.
So this is it's a trying time too, because you're making this transition. This is a tough week. You got to do the training, the combine, all of those situations. But you have some pretty good people in your family to lean on, with your dad, with your uncle. I played against both of them. I mean, they're straight dogs, right? They had great mentalities. Do you lean on people like that? Like, hey, when you were going through this process, if you were maybe struggling, what helped you? Like, is that a great resource for you?
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, I mean, anytime you're struggling or need questions to anything, I know they're right there in my back pocket to ask you.
And you told us you're training in Florida right now?
Yes, sir.
So you're back at your mom's then?
Yep.
Is she doing your laundry right now?
Yep.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah,
the ultimate goal, right?
I got a lot of balance, so she helps me out a lot. But really, she helps me out a lot, and I love her for sure.
Where are we at? Where are we at from a nerve standpoint right now? I know this can be a very, I'm not saying like nerve, but it can be it's a pressure-filled week.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's just the way I was raised. It's kind of just natural. I know it's a big week, but having confidence in myself and just knowing who I am and what type of player I am, I think I'm just going to go out here and just have a good time, try to have fun, and definitely compete and just show my effort in my game.
See, I always give my PSA, like, just know these are going to be the most physical practices that you've ever been a part of. And I know you know that, again, leaning on people, but that's what they are. I mean, these are like game reps. Every rep here in Mobile during these practices, it's a game rep. And like you said, you want to prove that, hey, I can block an edge guy in the pass protection game or in the run game and different things. And so it is something that, like, if you go in with the right mentality and you know what it's going to be, it does make it a little bit easier.
Yeah, for sure. Like you said, I mean, every rep is important here, so just taking every rep one by one and really giving it my all and showing my effort would be really important.
Which drill are you looking forward to the most, though? Is it one-on-ones?
I would say one-on-ones.
Yeah.
I mean, that's everyone's drill, but, I mean, honestly, just coming out here and doing everything, the 9-on-7 or the team periods and the 7-on-7, just making sure I could do everything a tight end does.
Do they make I'm trying to remember, how often do they make the tight ends do the pass rush one-on-ones?
They with the backs, they were, they'd go.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, so it'd be like, 3 backs would go, then a tight end would go.
That's interesting. So tight end's the only position that gets, because, like route running one-on-ones, that's an offensive drill.
Yeah.
Pass rush one-on-ones, that's I guess running backs as well.
Yeah, running backs get the same, I like that he said 9-on-7 though. That does my fullback heart a lot of good. Yeah,
dude, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Mason. Hey, congrats on an awesome career at LSU. Like I said, your name's etched in the record books and a highlight that will stand the test of time.
Thank you.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Have a good week
best
here in Mobile.
Yes, sir.
All right, that was Mace Taylor. Shout out. Great start to the show today. Coming up next, talk a little Saints coaching search. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Hey, guys, I want to remind you to go to Main Event of Baton Rouge. Main Event Baton Rouge, if you're looking to have some fun, you want to go do some bowling. There's multi-level laser tag, maybe play some arcade games. You mentioned OTB. When you go in, you get a 30-minute free game card. Think about that. 30 minutes for free, right, to kick off the day. And then, look, maybe it's you and the family. Maybe it's a first date. Maybe you got like a sales team that you want to reward because they hit their goal. You're a leader. You want to do some team bonding. Just looking for a good time, man. It's all there at Main Event. Delicious food and drinks as well. Newly revised menu. And we have dedicated party planners on standby for any birthdays or anything like that. So go to Main Event Baton Rouge. That's Main Event Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Ochsner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Ochsner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
Yo, what's going on, yo? Welcome back here in Mobile, Alabama. We are live in the Mobile Convention Center. Today, in a lot of ways, kind of day one of the Senior Bowl. Players rolling around. There's a tension in the air. Scouts have infested the city. The Viper's nest of would-be alphas patrolling every single bar in this city, staring down one another, chest puffed out, trying to prove dominance over the other. Not a single female in sight, and those who are, well, they might as well be a Christmas tree in Rockefeller Center because the ratios here are insane this week in Mobile, Alabama. Shout out to LaBerge Casino Hotel in Baton Rouge for sponsoring the trip, getting us out here. Ratio's probably a bit better down there. But again, it is a fascinating time for the city where it just the entire football world descends here, and you can feel the tension in the air, Jake, as practice is about to begin. Right after the show, we'll be heading over to the practice fields, and I cannot wait to see who starts to write their legend, right? Like, we only knew Quinion Mitchell was going to be awesome this year because of what he did in Mobile last year. I remember the first year ever came to Mobile, you know who the guy was making all the waves? Aaron frickin' Donald. They're like, wait, who is this? Who is this? I was working at WWL all the time. They're like, this is like Pitt D lineman, and he's like not that big looking, but he's just out here dominating people. So I can't wait to learn today who's going to start that journey.
Yeah, it happens every year. I mean, you mentioned Mitchell. I mean, I think Ladd McConkey, we all knew who he was, but we didn't know Ladd was going to be cooking people like that in 101s. I mean, it was highly impressive. I go back to, I guess it was 2-3 years ago, and Jaden Reed, receiver from Michigan State, I'm like, they can't cover him. Yeah. Nobody can cover him. It's like, I don't really know his game right now, but you quickly learned it. He turned himself into a, does anybody really know this guy, to a second-round pick, and now he's Green Bay's #1 receiver, right? So, like, that's what we find out in a week like this. Like, you were put on a stage. You were put on an island. You're one-on-one. Who is going to win? And if you got somebody out here with these rosters that Jim Nagy and his staff have put together, and you're showing out and you're separating yourself from that kind of group, you know you've got a pretty good chance to not only get drafted early, but to play very early. And so that's always the exciting thing because it's not guys that we know.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, honestly, the big names here aren't the ones that show out in practice.
Yeah, no, you're right, and it's that's I think also because like oftentimes the big names in be it like high school recruiting, maybe in college football are okay. You're a big, you're on a great team, right? Mm-hmm. You're on a big time team. You win a lot. You're one of the better players on the team. But the Cannon used to always say this, dude, when it came to playing high school football. He was like, look, honestly, because I flirted with maybe transferring to Evangel back in the day, and over there, Marist was a Georgia football power. I went to like small school, and I thought about maybe going to Marist, took the entrance exam and everything. But he always like, look, you can if you want, but like honestly, if you can play, they gonna find you.
Yeah.
And Jim Nagy and his team, they're the guys that find you. And so, yeah, a lot of these people won't have the recognition because maybe they're at a smaller school. Maybe they play a position, doesn't get it. Maybe they were buried because some of the media just latched on to some of their teammates who are bigger names.
Right.
But this, to get here, means objectively you can play at this level. And so that's why you get so many guys that feel like diamonds in the rough, because you don't get invited here because of your profile. You get invited here simply because of what you put on film. So this truly is a meritocratic week here at the Reese's Senior Bowl, and I can't wait for practice start today.
Like a guy like Harold Fannin Jr. from Bowling Green, tight end, that feels like somebody we're going to be talking about on Thursday because of what he did today and Wednesday. And if you don't know who that is, because everybody knows who Tyler Warren is from Penn State. He won the Mackey. He won all the awards. Well, actually, Fannin Jr. had better stats than him. He had some of the best tight end stats of all time in any single season. But because he played in the MAC and he played for Bowling Green, not everyone knows him. He's not a household name. By Thursday, he'll be a household name in the draft circles, and then he'll be drafted, and then we'll all know who he is. But that's the kind of the example that we're talking about here. So that's a player that I'm going to identify when we go out to practice. I want to watch that guy because he should be a household name, but because of where he played and maybe what others did around him at bigger schools, he doesn't get as much play in the national media, but I promise you everybody's going to be talking about him Thursday.
Watch any of these playoff games and watch when the starters introduce what school they went to, right? I mean, it's all over the place. That's crazy to think about because Bowling Green actually almost beat Penn State early. This feels like years ago, but way back at the beginning.
Connor Bazelak?
Yeah, remember, dude? It was an awesome game. Bowling Green had him on the ropes. We didn't even know at the time, really, though. We didn't even pitch it. It really was the tight end bowl.
Yeah.
I mean, Warren versus Fannin. But anyway, whatever. Going to be a great week here. Very excited for practice. We'll be bringing you live practice reports. So look forward to those. Follow us on all the social medias and whatnot. Hey, do want to remind you about KTZ window coverings, ktozblinds.com. You want those window coverings that, wow, you need drapery, shades, shutters. It's all at K2Z. But more so than the product, which a lot of companies can have access to product, right? It is the experience of K2Z that I think really separates. Brandon Barton's been in this game for well over 2 decades. He's built this business up with sweatquity, pounding the pavement. And so when he comes into your home, within 15 minutes, you get to take advantage of those decades of experience, and you see exactly how the Sunlight interacts with your home, what are your options, and how to bring your home to the next level. Complimentary free estimate, complimentary installation, KTZ window coverings, ktozblinds.com. All right, let's talk a little Saints coaching search as the news cycle continues to spin right along. First and foremost, Jake, it appears that the Saints brass is, quote, not enamored with Mike McCarthy. So, although the resume is
probably because he asked questions.
I mean, look, I don't know if I know anything about McCarthy on a personal level beyond what Mansell just said. He liked him quite a bit.
Right.
I don't know if it's look, I can't speak to the how or the why, but and it makes sense given that there's not an offer or anything. Word on the street is Saints brass unenamored with Mike McCarthy, and remember yesterday they fly out to Philadelphia to go meet with Kellen Moore, and Kellen Moore feels like, I think certainly from the Saints' perspective, he is the leader in the clubhouse, or at least believe that. We haven't gotten any reports that the interviews went poorly or anything like that.
So Vegas right now has moved. Remember yesterday we were talking about it. Kellen Moore's actually moved up to the top choice at plus 300. Mike McCarthy plus 350. Kafka is plus 450. Then Anthony Weaver, the Dolphins defensive coordinator, plus 600. And so it does feel like Kellen Moore's probably the leader. Kellen Moore was the coordinator for the Chargers last year. There was a lot I liked about him. He's at least got offenses that are towards the top of the league. I've seen him with stars. I've seen him with an injury-riddled team where he still had some success. And is it my top choice? No. But I think if you get Kellen Moore, that would be much more exciting than some of the other names that we've thrown around here. Look, Mike McCarthy is the safe choice, and so I think that's a lot of us thought maybe they would go safe because this might be Mickey Loomis's last time to hire a head coach. But of the people that are rumored and Vegas says have odds, I think Kellen Moore might be the best of those choices.
Yeah, look, I think the things that I like about Moore are
he's a lefty. You love that.
I forgot about that. I like that he was 50-3 as a starter. No, he wasn't.
He was
crazy.
a dog.
50-3 as a starter in college, guys. No, I like that after this year in Philly, because remember, wasn't he thought to be kind of a pass-happy little fancy lad? Maybe a bit too cute, a bit too much through the air, and then this year in Philly, he's completely remade that. And granted, it's like, well, you Saquon Barkley, but that's kind of my point, is that he completely adjusted his style to maximize his personnel, and look at how well it has worked, right? And you could say, well, it's not as productive when Jalen Hurts' passing numbers have gone down, whatever. It's creating wins. They don't turn the ball over. They control the game. They play to their strengths. Like, ultimately, that's what you want in a good head coach. But so I like the versatility that he showed there. I think there's something to be said, Jake, for walking into a pretty toxic situation in Philly and having success, right? Yeah. I mean, it still seems like every single week the personalities to manage are a lot there, especially when you probably got A.J. Brown unhappy with you every single week because he's not getting enough, there's not enough production through the air. So I like how he's done that. I think like anybody else, though, my questions with Moore are not X's and O's. It's will he be – how is he thought of as like a leader of men?
Right.
And this is kind of funny where does physical appearance kind of change how we judge? I have no idea what Kellen Moore's like in those situations, but he looks so cherubic and young and, clean-shaven and everything. Like, if he had, like, a beard and gray hair, would I be like, you know what, actually, I think he looks like a leader of men. I'm not sure. But that seems to be the positives and kind of the question marks surrounding Kellen Moore right now. I got to give it to the Cannon, though, because when we were watching games on NFL Network thinking they were playoff games a few weeks back, he kept talking about how Moore was his favorite choice, and this was when Brady and Glenn and everybody else was still out there.
I think one of the things that when you look at his playing career and how he transitioned into the coaching realm, it was 1 year. So he was with the Cowboys for 3 seasons as a player. His last year was 17, and then in 18 he immediately gets the quarterback coaching job there for the Cowboys. I think that kind of tells you what he was thought of in that building.
True.
He wasn't an offensive consultant, an analyst. He didn't have to go to college and have a year of, doing something there to prove yourself as far as a coach. No, finishes in 17. He's a quarterback coach in 18.
That is crazy.
So I think that shows you kind of what a lot of people like around the game think of him, and also the fact that he could handle that. Because I'm sure that his peers were still there. I mean, think about it. Like, probably a lot of the same quarterback room. And he's going from sitting there to now having the clicker and sitting in the back of the room and going over the tape. Now. And so that part, and I'm like you, like, I don't know inside and out Kellen Moore. I'd have to reach out to somebody that has played for him, either Dallas or I almost said San Diego, L.A., or Philadelphia. But I do think him going from player to coach in the next year kind of tells you at least X's and O's and maturity levels to be able to handle that.
So, Jake, you know how scuttlebutt tends to float on the wind here in Mobile. There's some positive Kafka buzz. And remember, this is something that we talked about, and he's going to be the coach of either, the American or the National here? One or the other.
Yeah.
But so I'm kind of excited to get an eye on him because we talked about it. We've talked about it. We talked about it yesterday. We talked about it kind of throughout this process of Kafka, where I get that he is, from a resume, look at the stats of what the Giants said, everything else, right? He is a deeply unexciting candidate from that perspective. But like we mentioned yesterday, there is a disconnect between those numbers, which are obvious, and the fact that he's been a finalist for multiple jobs the last 2 years, right? Like, there's obviously, in NFL circles, there seems to be more respect for him than what his resume would dictate, is how I would say it. And so anytime there's that disconnect, like we talked about, we just talked about it doesn't matter where you play, they're going to find you. Like, this feels like a guy that maybe the NFL's way higher on than the general public. I am not saying that if it did come down to that, anybody should be happy or you should cheer it on or say, oh, this is perfect, exactly what Saints wanted the entire time. I just mean that I'm a bit I've been a little bit intrigued with him for that perspective, and some of his deep end after hearing some people talk very positively about him last night, just over some drinks of the haberdasher.
And maybe so, but if I'm a Saints fan,
yeah, I'm not saying any. Again, I don't want to be misconstrued.
I would also have
here.
questions about like him getting so many interviews, and everybody said, "Oh, it went really well," but he didn't get a job.
Yeah. I mean, again,
I mean, I'm sure you've had him. I've had him. Like, I've gone places. Man, that was awesome. That was great. And you're like, I'm about to get hired. And then they're like, we'll be in touch.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, well, what did I not do? And it's kind of been multiple times for him. So, like, that would be a big question for me. And also, if he was truly the guy and you felt that good about him, why did you interview 3-4 people after the fact that, you had him in the bill? You know what I'm saying?
True.
Like, that would be like, why are you flying to Philly if you feel like he was your guy? And Mickey Loomis would come up with something and
to be clear,
chew his gum and tell us why. But
yeah, I don't think. I mean, he's obviously not the Saints guy. If he was, you'd hire him.
That's what I'm saying.
Right? Yeah, for sure. Maybe you back into him again. I'm not saying that. I just think it's a bit. We'll probably never see. So there's no point in talking about it. Just a little. I thought it was something kind of interesting that dovetailed with some of the thoughts that were swirling in my head. So right now, flew out to Philly yesterday, met with Kellen Moore. Seems like things well. He's the odds-on favorite to be the Saints head coach. We'll see where it ends up going. All right, when we get back here and off the bench, Blake Baker no longer the highest-paid D coordinator in college football. Break it down next here on OTB.
Off the bench.
Hey, guys, shout out to our friends over there at Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. Get Gordon and get it done. In fact, you know who was a member of the G team one day after he pulled off the catch? Mason Taylor. How about it, dude? Gordon swooping in and swooping him up. Look, speaking of standing up to the big boys, to the bullies, when you get in an accident, the insurance company trying to take advantage of you, you need to get what you deserve. You get Gordon McKernan Injury Attorneys. You call 225-888-8888, or you go to getgordon.com, and they fight for you. And you need somebody who can fight for you, somebody with, heavy hands. Not them little tiny Milrow things, and heavy hands.
Yeah, we got to talk about that.
We're going to talk about that because shout out Jalen Milrow. Love you, man. Get Gordon. Get it done. 225-888-8888. Also follow him on social media at Get Gordon or head over to getgordon.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench. The bench.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB live here at the Senior Bowl. Day 2, Mobile, Alabama. Shout out to LeBear's Baton Rouge Casino and Hotel for sponsoring the trip out here so we can get eyes on the future of NFL football. Can't wait. You can see the players all walking into their team meeting rooms. Again, you can feel the tension starting to build, guys. And what happens when it's like an old rubber band gun or anything like that? What happens is the tension builds and builds and builds. Eventually, it's got to fire off. It's going to snap.
Yeah.
And that's going to be during one-on-ones, and it's going to be absolutely insane.
It is funny, like every drill is going to be different for every player. There's something that every player feels confident about here. There's something that every player is like, I hope I do well there. You know, there's something that they're
about one-on-ones. It's a bad place to be.
There's, you know, and that's for a lot of people, T. I mean, one-on-ones it's a scary place for a lot of people because it's a defensive drill. There's all this space. It's all eyes on you. And certainly, like, on the offensive line, like, you're not typical, like, honing in on one person, right? It's the totality of the 5 guys. And so that makes a lot of sense. For me, it was 9-on-7. Like 9-on-7, I knew for me
I mean,
here.
that was going to be where you wrote your.
And so like that
legend.
was like one-on-ones. Like, let's go. Like I'm gonna take away the inside. We're gonna go up the rail, and I'm gonna feel fine. But 9-on-7, I'm like, man, I hadn't done this in a while, right? I mean, I hadn't played fullback in two full seasons, and all of a sudden I got 3 fingers in the dirt, and I got to go lead block on, you know, this All-American.
True.
Keith Rivers, maybe USC. Remember that name? Played for
Keith
Cincinnati
Rivers?
Bengals. I think that was his name, Keith Rivers. He's All-American USC. Played for the Bengals, and I'm like, okay, I gotta go. And I was like, it's not like oh my gosh, I can't get this done nerves. It's like I have to get this done type of nerve. And so it's gonna be different for every single player. It's not just only the one-on-ones. I would say mainly it is the one-on-ones. But there's gonna be a drill for everybody here that they're a little nervous about because they want to do so well.
And so we'll continue to bring it all. Yesterday was weigh-in day. A couple interesting things to note, Jake. One, Jalen Milroe. Welcome to the club, my friend.
But he's not even in your club. He's like he's in a club underneath you.
See, unlike you, big-handed freaks, you disgusting peanut-eating circus weirdos, you carnies.
Yeah.
We are an accepting crew in the 9-Inch King Club. You do not have to be 9 inches to get in. It's 9 inches or under. And in fact, you can allow Patty Mahomes in there, given that he's 9 1/4. But Jalen Milroe coming in with, 8 3/4 yesterday?
Yeah.
Which, again, by the way, there's no starting quarterback in the NFL right now under 9 or something along those lines. So it's always going to be such a frustrating moment for a potential NFL quarterback when they get up there and they're like, oh, your hands are too tiny, you can't play football. Like, what? Like, I mean,
no. Do you
I don't think Jalen Milroe's hand size was why he maybe struggled this year at times reading defenses or not making the correct decisions. But if he's not good, people are going to be like, oh, see, tiny hands. I mean, remember, it wasn't Burrow. What did Burrow say a few years ago when he was like, He's like, I guess my hands are too tiny to play quarterback.
Yeah,
I'm just never
might
gonna
as well
make
go
it.
ahead and retire.
Yeah, might as well go ahead and retire.
Yeah, and it's one of those silly metrics. And I don't know if this was the first year that we did this together, or if it was the year before. Were you here Kenny Pickett's year?
We were.
Was that the first year we came?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I remember that the Pickett. Now I didn't bring him up because, like, you know, his NFL career's been whatever. But the problem is it's not because of his hands, right? It's
Right.
like Burrow.
But I just remember him being here, and so we were doing shows. Me and Doran were doing the show like at the stadium in the press box, and like the camera. So we had a feed of the practices right in front of us, and every time they started talking about Kenny Pickett, the camera guy was zooming in on his hand, and I'm like, oh my God, I feel so bad for this kid. And
So weird.
3 practices, he had 3 different glove changes. So first off, he wore a glove on his hand, and there was 3 different ones every day to try to find the right one. I'm like, dude, you're buying in, like
You can't.
you gotta stop.
You're showing weakness.
You're
giving
showing them,
power.
yes.
You're
And so,
giving
like,
them power
it was
over
the
you.
conversation. Now, he was the only first-round quarterback that year.
Yeah.
But it was like, man, just keep the same glove. If you're going to wear a glove, just keep the same one on. We are you got a yellow one on, then you got a white one on, then you got a black one on. Like, man.
So
And
one
yeah,
of the
it's
other
yellow here in Mobile.
One of the other funny measurement things from yesterday, we saw something very rare. The ultra rare program lie where somebody lied down. Deion Walker was listed in the program as 6'6", 345.
Yeah.
He's 6'7".
God.
He's 6'7".
Wait till you see
Not
him.
6'6" and 3/4.
Yeah.
6'7", 345. Are you? And this is number 0, giant defensive tackle from Kentucky, guys. Are you freaking kidding me? I've never heard of a program listing a 6'7" guy at 6'6", so even bigger. Maybe he grew. Like, I don't know. Like, I mean, you continue to grow during college, but I cannot wait to get eyes on Deion Walker.
Yeah, that's what, because if you're 6'2.5", you're 6'4" in the program.
Yes.
If you're, Jackson Dart's 6'1", I think he measured at. He's probably 6'3" in the program.
absolutely.
Right. I was always going to be 6 foot in the program.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
I've never seen it before.
That's what it's typically going to be listed at. The fact that this man is a literal giant, and they shorted him an inch.
I can't wait. I can't wait to go watch him. Hey, guys, remember, we're excited to be here. Shout out to the Bears for having us here. Also, shout out to our new friends over there at Boudreaux's Electrical, okay? Look, if you're in the market for a home generator, make sure the lights stay on when storms hit, freezes, whatever the case may be. Make sure your family's protected. Let's say you're like an outdoorsman. You got a fridge full of meat, all that sort of stuff, right? You make sure you never lose power again by getting a Generac dealer from Boudreaux's Electrical. And I want to be clear, okay? Boudreaux's is a family-run business, customer first. And right now, in the generator business, a lot of these companies you deal with, it's just private equity. They're national companies. They don't give a damn about you, your number on a spreadsheet. They're not going to do what Boudreaux's does for you when you need them. My favorite story, I keep telling it, we got plenty of these, but during Francine, they actually drove out in the eye of Francine. We're cutting down trees to get to a customer to make sure that their generator was good to go. The national guys ain't doing that for you, okay? So keep the lights on. Go to Boudreaux'sElectrical.com. Jake, how about it? So Blake Baker was the highest paid defensive coordinator in the country last year, right? $2.5 million a year. Jim Knowles, the $3 million man.
The $3.1 million man.
So Tom Allen, former Indiana head coach, leaves Penn State earlier this offseason. He was DC. He leaves to go be the DC at Clemson. Penn State seeking to kind of go all in. You know, how do we take the next step? How do we do something splashy? Although I have questions about whether or not this move does it. But still, how do we take the next step? They go and they hire Jim Knowles away from Ohio State just a couple of weeks after winning a national championship to the tune of $3.1 million. Here's my question, Jake. Do you think that, real quick before we get into some other angles here, there had to be some sort of drama here, right?
Had to.
Like, because Ohio State, it's not a money thing. Ohio State could have matched it, could have got very close. Like, it can't be just a pure money thing.
Yeah.
And you're leaving for Penn State. I mean, well, I guess whatever. The job's job, but still.
I mean, Penn State's a great job, but you're at the Ohio State.
You got Caleb Downs coming back next year.
Yeah, and you get Sonny's coming back next year, too. I mean, you got some real dudes coming back next year, going to be surefire first-round picks. It had to happen. Like, something had to happen, or, like, the work environment wasn't great. And I hate to, like, read into body language, because you never know at media days, but for the National Championship Media Day, I was interviewing Jim Knowles, and he gave great answers, but, man, his body language, he was slouched over. His elbows were kind of at his knees, and he's just sitting there, and he's just, like, looking ahead and giving answers. And I remember telling EJ, I'm like, man, that looks weird. Like, he's exhausted, but maybe it wasn't him being exhausted. Maybe it was him like, man, I'm ready.
My headcanon is I like to, like, think that, like, Chip Kelly came in, and then Ryan Day started teaching Chip like his favorite son. And all of a sudden, Jim's left out in the woods. And he's like, hey, Jim, hey, we need you to do some portal work. Make some calls, raise some money. Me and Chip are going golfing.
Well, you know what? You joke, but there is some of that. I mean, Chip Kelly coached Ryan Day at New Hampshire, all right? And then Ryan Day was his quarterback coach and in the NFL at Philly and at San Francisco, right? And then obviously, Chip hires Ryan, so like they're boys.
Yeah,
like they've been together since college for Ryan Day, and so yeah, I'm sure there's some of that too. Like anything that was left over, it went to the offensive side of the football.
Exactly, right. Okay, so how about this then? Who do you think they like? Give me a big name. Who are the big names? Because right now, you have Ohio State, Oklahoma, and Notre Dame, who all don't have defensive coordinators. And with this Knowles contract, the price just got raised. You got to imagine Ohio State's going to want to do something splashy. Like the splashiest would be like a Glenn Schumann, right? I don't think there's any way he leaves Kirby in Georgia or something. But like are there any other names kind of that caliber or level out there that you're thinking of?
What about Jim Leonard? I know
Jim Leonard.
He was in the NFL, kind of has an analyst, and
he was the hot name, and then he never ended up really catching on.
But he never did a bad job, so it's weird. And I know Jim. I was teammates with Jim. Jim's an awesome dude, the best football mind that defensively that I was around in my NFL career. So Jim's out there, and so I think that honestly,
Ian Rappaport's saying that he's going to remain a defensive assistant for the Denver Broncos in 2025.
So it's a personal choice.
He's trying to get in the NFL done. He ain't trying to go to college, maybe.
And Jim played a long time, played for Denver, obviously. And so that's Jim telling you, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't want the problems of college football. So if he said that already, then
it looks like
he wants
this
to be in the NFL.
just said yesterday, so
okay,
good
so
instincts by you.
He wants to be in the NFL. You're right.
Yeah.
Okay, so that was one of the names that I kind of thought of. But you're right. You lose a Jim Knowles, who you going to go get?
I don't know. I mean, you got money.
I mean, because you're not going to outbid Texas. I mean, you're not going to – Georgia feels like you're not going to outbid Georgia. I'm trying to think of some of the other top defenses in the country. I don't know that you're going to get the guy that Jim Knowles was. And remember, I don't want to say overpaid. That feels disrespectful, but they kind of did for Jim Knowles to leave Oklahoma State because they wanted him.
Yeah.
Like, they went above market value because they had a defensive issue.
Well, it's just
they were scoring all those points, but they couldn't stop anybody.
It's just like LSU going above market value for Baker last year. Now Penn State do it. Well, I mean, maybe it is market value when you win the Natty, but either way, some fascinating. I'm very interested to see the domino effect, all kicked off by Tom Allen here. All right, when we get back, we have a brand new Hunt Palmer series. Keep it locked. OTB.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge. Your home for cars, man. You like cars? You drive them around, put them in reverse, park them, use a parking brake. I find one of the signs of getting older is using a parking brake when you don't need it. Why am I putting the parking brake on flat land? I don't know. I feel good about it, though. I feel safer. I feel like my car is going to be fine. The point is, if you like cars, you're going to love All-Star because they got whatever you need. Brand new cars. There's the 25s here. Great deals on the 24. You got Toyota certified used vehicles where you get excellent warranty coverage and a great price. We have the servicing and body shop open to all makes and models. So if you like cars, you're going to love your home for cars. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Yeah, go to the website today. You can buy new, you can lease, and you can rent. Everything is available. Something for everyone's needs. They're always going to be met over at All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
Cars.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your environment.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. We are live at the Senior Bowl here in Mobile, Alabama. Shout out to LaBerge Hotel Casino in Baton Rouge for sponsoring the trip out here. Love LaBerge. Love coming out here. So thank you so much for doing this. So I said we're going to do a new Hunt Palmer series, and that is because on our wonderful website that we are creating at Guarantee to bring you all of your Louisiana sports news, louisianasports.net. Wake up, babe. There's a new Hunt Palmer series, okay? Our portal player profiles are done, and now it's time for an LSU baseball position preview series as Hunt is going to break things down position by position. And I love this even more than the portal for multiple reasons. First off, there's so much more turnover in baseball, right? That like every single year is like meeting a new cast of characters. We're right here on the edge of another season. And so these are going to give you the little water cooler names and kind of the base facts of what you need to know and what you need to be interested in going into the season. And we start, Jake, with, I would argue, probably the most remade position group on the entire team, and that is catcher. I mean, think about it. Milazzo, Travinsky, Brady Neal, all gone. The guys that have started, every game for the last 2 years for the Tigers. You have 3 transfers and a stud freshman that are replacing them. So it's can you think of any position or like any position on the team that is more brand new than catcher?
I mean, it feels like you have so many options too. And you're right. Like, I think the thing about the catcher position and having so many different options as you lay them out and you kind of look at it, who's it going to be, one, but also you knew for so long it was, Travinsky and Milazzo and even Neal. Like, it was names that you knew and they were there for such a long time. And so, like, you're completely restarting at that position as well. Like, it's going to be somebody new. And, anytime you have, like, a championship run, too, and certainly, like, Travinsky, what he did in that championship season and how he came on late in the season, like, it's going to be remembered for a long time. It's going to kind of boost that position up. And so it is exciting, though, that you get some new blood, some new faces in there. And I also think that it's not that you've got 4 guys trying to compete for a spot because there's nobody that's going to take the job. It feels like, and Hunt could tell me if I'm wrong, it feels like there's 4 guys that kind of deserve the job, and they're looking for the best of that core group that's really playing well, and they all deserve the job, but like the cream kind of rises to the top and not like, man, we got 4 guys. Nobody's really won the job, and we're just going to have to settle for who's the best of this group.
So right now they got Luis Hernandez, Indiana State transfer. This is a guy that hit 23 home runs, 76 ribbies last year, 1,100 OPS. So very productive bat, but has not caught in 2 years defensively. There's Blaze Priester, who, how about Blaze's journey, Jake? He starts at LSU, then he goes to Meridian Community College. Now he's back at LSU. So Blaze obviously desperate to catch on with the Tigers. I mean, the man wants it. Then you got this is the superstar freshman, right? The guy that you think long-term is going to be the guy, and then some. I apologize in the last name. Cade, I think it might be Aaron Bede. I say Arambide in my head. I know. I'll figure it out. We'll just call him Cade for now. But 6'3", 5-star. He could have gone pro. Comes to college, hit 360 in the fall, according to Jay Johnson. But in a theme, needs some defensive work. And then the 4th name's Eddie Yaman, the 4th from transfer from Dayton. Right now, though, coming out of fall, Jay Johnson said Hernandez had a slight edge on Cade, but that maybe Priester was the best bat in the fall. But I think the overall theme is a lot of hitting in this group, but the defense is a question mark. And that's going to be that's going to be what they have to prove. And maybe the best way to playing time is who will be your most consistent defensive option.
Oh, man, what's Matt going to do that he doesn't get to yell, like, put Milazzo back there?
Oh yeah, I mean, right, there is no, that's a good point, because there is no, like, there's no, in this group, I don't think, at least, not from what Hunt's write-up or anything I've read, there is no just defensive superstar. Everybody can swing it. Everybody seems like they can swing it. But, you know, you got to be able to stop people from running on you in this league. And so we'll see. But again, like, so you kind of – so Luis Hernandez, we think, maybe in the lead slightly. Cade Arambide, Aaron Bede, that's your superstar that you think is going to be the guy, but it's a big jump coming from being a freshman. And then how do Priester and Eddie Yaman factor in as well? We will see. But there is your preview of the catcher position as we are just a couple of weeks away from LSU baseball cranking up yet another year. And we're just a couple of minutes away from OTB cranking up another hour. Aaron Beede. Aaron Beede. Aaron Beede. Thank you, Alondra. Aaron Beede. Shout out, Kate. Okay, we got Mailbag, Mulkey, and more coming up next.
Off the bench. Off the bench.
Go to, oh my gosh, what is going on here? Go to yourgoodwood.com. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. If you want to feel better, feeling a little limp, you want to feel hard, strong, and young and virile once again, you want to go to Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness here in Baton Rouge. You go to yourgoodwood.com, you set up an appointment, you call them, you set up an appointment, you get your labs drawn, you take the first step because you're done being embarrassed, okay? You're done settling for mediocrity. You want to achieve your peak form, right? You want to go final form freezer, you want to go perfect cell, you do that with Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, because why would you let your embarrassment stop you from fixing the issue? You know? Like, solutions are out there. So take advantage of it. Do not go quietly into that good night. Go to Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness, yourgoodwood.com, yourgoodwood.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared towards seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. here on Tuesday, January 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 63 in hour 2 of today's show. We'll have OTB Mailbag and LSU women's basketball coach Kim Mulkey hops on the show. You can follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN and watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, starts now.
Let's go, baby, let's go! All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what's going on, guys? Air MBD. Thank you, Hunt Palmer. Again, guys, if you want to read Hunt Palmer's baseball breakdowns, portal profiles, anything LSU, basketball breakdowns you want to read about the Saints coaching search, Ross Jackson, or read SEC news with the guy Chris Marler, it's all at louisianasports.net. So if you're somebody who enjoys look, just you can sign up for the newsletter. They email you the stories every day, or just put in your rotation of websites that you peruse to stay on top of your favorite sports teams. Louisiana Sports.net, shout out to them. And shout out to LeBerge Baton Rouge Hotel Casino for putting us out here in Mobile in the Senior Bowl. We are inching closer to practice. Very, very, very excited.
Peruse.
Invincible Matt says, how do they take the coffee table away before 8 a.m.? That's wild.
Wait,
that's what we were wondering
they
as
took
well,
it away
dude.
again?
Yeah, it's 2 days in a row, so it ain't an accident.
Heck?
I don't know, man.
I didn't even get a refill.
Yeah.
Hold on, this is an issue.
It's not good. It's not good, Jake.
No, it's not good at all.
No.
Okay.
No.
Like, it's 8 a.m. What are we doing?
It's almost as bad as not wearing pants at a children's museum. And you're like, why is he saying that?
Yeah, why?
Right? Okay.
Well, yeah.
Well, because I forgot to tell a very funny story from the weekend in which I did not wear pants at a children's museum. So I took the kids to go hang out with the Cannon on Saturday at the New Orleans Children's Museum. Fun place or whatever. And in the gift shop, grandparents do this. They're like, okay, you can pick out a toy. You can pick out one toy. All the kids can. And Bobby's getting into little magnetic trains lately, like Thomas Tank Engine, all that sort of stuff. Well, in my family, we love pirates. And they had this pirate train, and it looked so freaking cool, right? Like the engine, the train engine has like a Jolly Roger on it. It's got like a treasure chest can. It's really cool, right?
Yeah.
But it is a little expensive. I know. Bobby like latches onto it. He hands it to Papa Bear or whatever, and so
yeah.
And you can tell Papa Bear's like, ooh, this is a little, like this is a little much for what it is.
Man, this was not the deal.
But I was like, no, look, I'll get this, you get that, whatever, it'd be good. And so we buy it. And then we're eating. It's got this beautiful little overhang that we're eating at that's over the water, over a little pond over there in City Park. And when just out of nowhere, because he's just a little terror, and it's what he does with everything right now, Bobby grabs the engine, the badass, the centerpiece of the train, like the whole reason why we bought it, and he just chucks it in the water. And I can tell the Cannon's pretty OCD, and I can tell that this is kind of like bugging him, right? Yeah. He also threw an apple juice in the water, so he's littering. That's a big no-no. So all of a sudden, he's kind of pissed, and I'm kind of pissed, because I'm like, I love this train. Yeah. I thought this train was awesome. Like, I kind of pushed it. So I go inside. I'm like, hey, do y'all have a net? I got to see if I can get this. I got to see if I can get this stuff out of the water, whatever. 5 minutes later, they come back with a net. So next thing you know, and we're on a deck that extends over the water. So next thing you know, I climb over a couple fences. I make my way down to the water's edge. I take off my shoes, my socks, my pants. I hike up my underwear to the bottom of my ass cheeks. And so and it's freezing. And so if you're walking across the bridge at the New Orleans Children's Museum, you see a 6'3", 265-pound man with a Bill Cosby sweater on.
Oh, that's cool, man.
And seeming like Winnie the Pooh. Like, I don't even know. Just giant, white, creamy thighs wading through the water, desperately trying to fish something out with a net. Unfortunately, by the time I got down there, the train had sunk. But I did get the apple juice out the water.
Right, but you didn't get the train?
I sat there for 10 minutes, pantsless, freezing.
No.
Freezing water right up to my balls. Right, like just full thigh show for everybody. So again, guys, if anybody was at the Children's Museum this weekend and you saw a pantsless man wading around in the water, it was nothing creepy. I was just trying to save a toy train.
Oh, man, T. I mean, if anybody saw the Cosby sweater,
laughing. I started laughing so hard.
Like the Cosby sweater?
Yeah, I had this on right here to stay warm.
On top of Winnie the Pooh situation?
Yeah.
At the Children's Museum?
Yeah.
You're lucky you didn't end up in cuffs.
I know. Again, I thought like, I thought at first, like, okay, I can just take my shoes off. But then I was like, oh, no, I'm going to have to get, like, in here. So I just started laughing, man. Pants off, shoes off, just wading in the water.
Did you go back into the museum?
And all that not to get the train. I know, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Did you put your pants back on?
Yes. I put my pants back on before I came back up to the kind of main.
I like how you act like
area.
that was a step too far.
God, did not get the train, though. Still bums me out. I'm still thinking about that. And you know what sucks? Like, credit to them for finding me a net out of nowhere.
Yeah.
But if we'd been quicker with the net, it would have been an easy get.
Yeah, right.
I would not have even had to go underneath.
How deep was
to
this?
Float underneath. I could walk out. It got pretty fast.
Okay.
Because I could only walk out about 5 or 6 feet before it was gonna go up to the waist and the chest and everything else. Jay Pizzle says this makes you think the Texas Day Brazil story may be true. No, guys, no. Not true.
I'm going to be honest. It's pretty incriminating. The fact that you're just willing to, in a Cosby sweater in front of children.
Because I love my kids.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because that stupid-ass train was expensive.
And the earth, because you didn't want to litter.
Exactly. Let's be clear. Credit to me. I got that apple juice out that water. Okay? And I picked up a couple other pieces of trash that I found along the way. So you don't litter on my watch, bro.
Yeah.
Get the hell up out of here, dude. Did you try returning the train set without telling him it was missing the main part? No. I am a little shocked, given the level of effort that the employees saw me go through, that they weren't like, do you want another train? But They didn't. So
how much we talking though? You said it was kind of expensive.
So one piece was this cool shipwreck. So again, these are all the classic wooden sets, not like a mechanical train set. You know, the little magnet or the wooden track, little magnets. Yeah, everybody
Thomas
has
the Train.
Thomas Tank. Exactly right. So they had this awesome like shipwreck one where it's like the train goes through like a shipwreck tunnel or whatever. And it was like $50.
Yeah.
But that's what Bobby latched on to.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And so the cannon's like, okay, I'm gonna get it for him. And then I'm like, okay, well if you get that, I gotta buy the train, the matching train to go into the shipwreck, and that was $30. So we're talking about
you're like
freaking
almost
$8. That's what
like
I'm saying.
$100 in.
Such a stupid ass waste of money.
Yeah. I mean, dude,
and then
you know
Bobby
much,
goes,
quad
it just
Bob.
throws it in the water.
He's lucky he didn't get thrown in the water.
I know.
Quad.
I know.
Hey,
Like,
those
why does he
trains,
throw food everywhere? He throws everything everywhere.
Yeah.
Just everything on the ground. Like,
Yeah.
why?
I don't know.
What are you, an animal? It doesn't matter. You can yell him. You can spank him. I don't know if it's hard to, like, really spank him, but, you know, you try to freak him out.
Yeah, I
Can't
mean-
do anything, dude.
Yeah, with those little tiny hands, probably doesn't even feel it. But
hey,
those, yeah, I know Milrow.
Jalen Milrow.
Yeah.
I mean, we
Dude,
get stronger by the day, guys.
Those trains too. So Jackson, my oldest, he was really into Tom. I mean, really.
Yeah.
And we lived in San Diego, and they had like a train store that was dedicated to nothing but wooden trains.
I love train stores.
I mean, T-Bob, this thing, it was a big store too, and you know how expensive those things are, but the amount of money that we spent on trains, and then like one day, just like you don't play with him anymore.
He's not into
But
it
that
anymore.
man, he knew every train by the name, and there was like 3 different blue ones. And if you called Gordon Thomas, you're like, nah, not silly. That's Gordon. What are you doing? I mean, this man knew him. And hey, you know what? The Thomas the Train theme song, banger.
Absolutely. Also, the Thomas the Train narrators started crew. In England, it was Ringo Starr, and in America, it was George Carlin.
George Carlin, then Alec Baldwin.
Oh, I didn't know Alec Baldwin.
Yeah.
I mean, there you
this
go.
is,
dude.
before.
Shout out Tommy.
But yeah.
What was the? One thing that does not get old with those trains, putting the magnets in reverse and watching them invisibly push each other. You know, where like the magnets, like you're like,
Yeah,
look
they're
at
fighting
this,
against each other.
look at this magic.
Yeah.
How have I wrought this? I mean, that is true. Like, I don't care how old I get, magnets always remain fun to play with. Always.
I can see you getting some and just like trying to push
was
them
there
together.
anything cooler than when you were a little kid and you would get a pencil and you'd get one magnet on there, like a circle magnet? You'd put one on there, then you put one the opposite side, and it just floats.
Yeah.
And you can like sit there and tap it. It's the best. All right. So that was a segment.
Well, look, I didn't know the story, and then there was some great memories from me and the family. Like Harlow started to pick up trains not that long ago, and Katie and I are like, put on the Thomas theme song on YouTube right now. We're making this happen again. So I get it.
Do you still have the old trains?
We have I don't say a lot. We have some of them. T-Bob, when I say we had this table size, like that would cover it with trains,
hell yeah,
we had that.
Firstborn,
yeah,
NFL money,
firstborn grandson too.
Oh yeah, we live in large.
on either side.
Oh,
yeah.
let's go.
Yeah,
we live in big. So, I guess the overall point is, guys, you should wear pants at the Children's Museum.
And if you're not going to wear pants, don't wear a Cosby sweater.
If you're not going to wear pants, you better have a damn good excuse, which I don't know if this qualifies, but I'll let you be
I feel
the
like
judge.
you did. I mean, you were saving the earth. One apple juice
true.
at a time.
Credit to me.
Yeah.
That apple juice ended up in the trash.
That's right.
Okay. All right, guys. Coming up next, do a little OTB mailbag. Get your questions in with hashtag OTB mailbag. Then we got Coach Kim Mulkey coming up at 8:30. Keep it locked here on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
Go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. When you go to the website, a box is going to pop up, and you can search the inventory by make and model. You can search by budget, or you can search by keyword, like minivan, truck, whatever the case may be. And whatever your needs may be, All-Star has the answer. And they've got an excellent staff ready to go to help you find your answers. You can test drive whatever you want, get a feel for it. I know it's a big commitment. The bottom line is at All-Star, from a functionality, what do you need? What do you can pay? What do you want to pay? Like, All-Star is going to find the answer that works for you and your family. Go to All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge today.
There you go to the website today. Buying new, leasing, and renting. As we always tell you, everything is available. So Camry, Corolla, Tacoma, Tundra, whatever it might be, midsize, full-size SUV, van, truck. They've got so many different options for you. All-Star Toyota of BatonRouge.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill.
Welcome back to the best morning sports show around. Sorta. It's Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. It's time for some OTB Mailbag.
Special delivery! I have this special delivery for Off the Bench. And look, it is marked most urgent.
We'll be writing to you.
The internet.
What the is the internet?
All right, let's get it started. Jay Pizzle, 504. Has to go to Mailbag. Was the shipwreck that the toy train went through the New Orleans Saints front office? Okay, that's a good bit. That's a good bit. It was not, but I will award you points. That made me laugh when I read it during the commercial. Has to go to Mailbag. Who had the greatest Super Bowl halftime performance of all time? You know, I don't know. I just got to be completely honest.
Prince was pretty good.
Yeah, but I don't know that I've ever seen one that I'm just like, God, that stuck with me, or I love that. Like there's a ton of oh, that was good. Look, I thought Lady Gaga was awesome. I thought the final stunt of jumping off and catching the football was pretty freaking fantastic. Also, I don't think she lip sang. I think she might have actually been live vocals, which I appreciated. The West Coast Kendrick thing was pretty cool with 50 and was that with 50 and everybody?
50, Eminem, Dre, Snoop, yeah. The memes from 50 hanging upside down.
Yeah, Thick Fitty. I love Thick Fitty.
Those are great.
More
Shout
like
out to 50 Cent.
55.
318 Savior.
55 Cent. Or is that like when when you said the 50 cent coin? That's what he was in that moment. Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, I remember seeing Janet Jackson's nipple. That was cool at the time, for sure. Although I didn't know what was going on around it.
I mean, I liked Usher last year. I thought he was great.
Yeah, I thought he was
But
fine.
I mean, it's pulling at my heartstrings there. So.
Am I crazy though? Like, so we're already going back to Kendrick? Like, we just had Kendrick, right?
Yeah, I guess he was quickly, but like he's like the main.
So he wasn't the headliner.
No.
Oh, okay.
The headliner was, I think, like Dr. Dre, Snoop.
Okay, yeah, just Dre,
probably those
Dre
two, and then
West
Eminem
Coast
came
crew.
out. Yeah.
The Dre. Yeah, okay, so it was the Dre guys. That makes sense.
Yeah, so I got to do some. I told you on the way here, I got to do some research because last year on Super Bowl radio, like we do a full, hour maybe on the halftime show and who it is. Like I was in my bag for Usher. I was good.
Yeah.
I'm not in my bag here, so I'm gonna do some research and I'm gonna have to dive in here next week.
I will say this. I mean, Kendrick, probably my adult life, it'd be him and J. Cole, but him having the edge in terms of the most rap albums that I've listened to like over and over again. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. T-Bow, what's the most money that you were offered on a cash out on a bet? You let it ride. You ended up with nothing. Derek says he was offered $700 on a $21 bet and left with nothing Sunday. Thanks, Mahomes. I've actually never cashed out any, but Jake, I'm sure you've had some of these with some insane parlays.
Yeah, if it gets up to like 4 figures typically, and it's not like crazy where I'm like, this is going to happen. If you offer me 4, I'm cashing out.
Yeah. I mean,
I do play it safe on cash outs.
What the hell are you playing? I guess if you're getting a 4-figure cash out, what are you threatening them with? A 16-team parlay that's got 14 legs done?
No, look, like a $16 $50 parlay is like, $2,400.
Oh, really?
So, if they offer you $1,000, it's like, I'm gonna take that. All $50.
Hashtag, no, it's smart. That's smart. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Who had the worst Super Bowl halftime performance ever? I do remember feeling like Adam Devine was trying to.
Adam Levine?
Yeah, what did I say? Adam Devine.
Yeah, this isn't Pitch Perfect.
Shout out Adam Devine, my guy. I do remember thinking that he was like actively thrusting in my face like so much, like really in there.
The weekend wasn't great.
No. I mean, is that
the
COVID?
Mirrors and
the mirrors, the looking lost memes were fantastic. I feel like when we went through the classic rock phase, those were all just very boring.
Yeah, after the Janet Jackson, they were like, let's go completely old school.
Yeah. So
those weren't great.
I like Bruno Mars. I forgot about him.
He was good.
Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Go-to continental breakfast pastry. It's obviously the croissant, right?
A classic croissant. I mean, yeah.
A classic croissant is the greatest.
I hate that, actually.
Is the greatest, maybe the greatest bread out there. I mean, I love
sourdough's pretty hard to beat.
Yeah, that's true. And I love biscuit sandwiches, but like on just a pure taste level, I think a croissant may be the best vehicle for a sausage, egg, and cheese. Jake, did you know that people put mustard on their sausage biscuits? Which
I love mustard. I've never thought to try that.
I know. I think it sounds great. Actually,
I love mustard.
I'd never even heard of it. I guess it might be a Texas thing, but it makes sense, right?
Is this an Alondra thing?
No, I found this
Texas.
maybe she can confirm or deny. No, this was just a random video I saw on Twitter yesterday where some guy was shocked that Texans don't put beans in their chili, but then I heard the mustard thing mentioned, and it makes sense because all sausage we dip in mustard, and it's great. So why
you're still like link sausage? You're right.
Yeah. So why wouldn't we just throw like a sausage like on? So now, do they mean just sausage? They mean sausage, egg, and cheese? I'll try out both, and I'll report back.
Yeah, I don't know about mustard on eggs.
But I don't not like it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never.
What's the best thing to dip into mustard? I'm gonna go soft pretzel.
Sausage for me.
Yeah.
I just went through Bratfall.
You did.
And it was great.
You did. So sausage?
Yeah,
Final
easily.
answer?
Not even close. Yeah. That's actually probably like the only thing I really eat mustard. I guess sandwiches as well.
Olivia made the house that we're staying at. Everybody got a homemade pretzel.
Alondra says, I'm a Texan. I put chip beans in my chili. Look, I don't know, man. Everybody, look. She made a homemade pretzel?
She made homemade pretzels and made one for everybody.
Oh, that sounds fantastic.
I thought about stealing Coach Neuheisel's, but he was guarding it. He had a clamp on it.
Let's see what else we got here. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. Favorite food made with puff pastry.
Wait, what?
What's a, I don't
Puff?
What's a puff? Like what technically is a puff
The
pastry?
Magic Dragon.
I don't. Hashtag OTB Mailbag. My wife and kids are out of town this weekend. Do I live at the Gentleman's Club? No, that's an awful idea.
That's an awful idea. Why are you paying for it?
It's an awful idea. You're not going to
Married.
get. It's like my grandfather told me. Okay, every man's got two heads. And you get into trouble when you let the little one do the thinking. So I know the sorcery.
Wait, your dad's dad said
Yeah,
this?
Bobby Sr.
Yeah, I only met him a handful of times, but his
Absolute
quotes
legend.
are legendary.
An absolute legend. But I know the sorcery that said tiny head can work, and don't let him lead. Okay, down boy. You know what you do? You just sit around, maybe get yourself a bunch of Chinese food.
Yeah.
You don't want to watch some movies or something. You know, you just watch every movie. You don't clean up. You don't put on pants. You just go around Winnie the Pooh all weekend. That's what you do.
T-Bob, so you were an inspiration for me when I was stuck in Atlanta because, like we talked about yesterday, man, I was to my point. And I like to think I'm pretty mentally tough, but I was to my point. Like, if I don't get home to my family right now, I'm going to break
down. Yeah.
I'm going to break. And so I've been eating healthy for a good period of time, right? And I'm sitting there and I'm like, what's going to make me happy right now? And I went and got the biggest order of Chinese food that you can imagine. I mean, sesame, orange chicken, the biggest thing of noodles you can imagine. And I sat there. Yeah, I just sat there.
Egg
I went in
roll?
a corner,
Throw an
buy
egg
my
roll in?
spring roll.
Okay, spring roll.
Yeah, I love spring rolls.
Okay.
And so I go over there and I grubbed. And I used chopsticks because I wanted it to take longer. I wanted it to be like enjoy every single bite.
That's a heady play by Jake there. Chopsticks extending the enjoyment.
Yes.
I agree.
So I
can't
just sat
shovel it
there,
as much.
and it was, for those 30 minutes that it took me to sit there and eat all that food, I was like, at least right now, my belly's happy, even though I'm about to break.
The problem is, did the later come down, did it worsen how you were feeling? Or did it carry you through?
Well, that's, after that's when I paid $300 for a hotel room, and I got there, they said, we don't have any hotel rooms. So I guess it didn't really help the situation, but I'm not sure anything could have helped the situation.
True,
but, again, in those 30 minutes, at least I forgot about being stuck for 2.5 days.
Yeah, Scott Nice opened the show talking Chinese food cravings at 7 a.m., and now he's giving me one. Damn it.
I know.
I don't think we've ever gotten Chinese here in Mobile. I wonder what the good Chinese spot
I'm not
is.
sure anybody comes here and is like, Mobile Chinese.
Wait, I don't know. I mean, when I take people out in Baton Rouge, I think Asian fusion. Me personally.
Where was that?
Soji. I just brought Nara to Soji.
Remember, like 3 years ago, like whenever any of us had anything, that's where we went.
Yeah, dude, it's a great
for like
spot.
a 3-month period or so.
It's good food. It's good food. Hashtag OTB Mailbag is egg drop soup. Is egg drop soup overrated or underrated? I don't know. My life properly rated. Yeah, I think it's great. Yeah.
You're not gonna find me talking bad about
mini soups.
Yeah,
I love soup.
Me too. I'm not gonna, all kinds, chowder, soup, whatever. There will be Chinese food consumed in some way today. Yeah, Scott, you're correct.
I think. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it's inevitable at this point. All right, there's another successful OTB mailbag. Thank you for joining us. When we get back here on Off the Bench, let's talk to what is many people's favorite segment of every single week. Let's talk to the legend herself, Coach Kim Mulkey, coming up next here on OTB.
Off the Bench.
Hey, guys, we got a brand new sponsor here on Off the Bench, and we are so excited to be working with Pelican Roofing, Lafayette, Baton Rouge. You need somebody who's going to take care of your roof instantly, instant communication, instant responses, incredibly rapid turnaround on the work all the way through cleanup. Somebody who has a dedicated employee every single step of the process when it comes to fixing your roof or getting a new roof, be it answering the phones, be it a dedicated project manager on every single site. Right now, one guy juggling a bunch of sites. No. That's what you get with Pelican Roof, okay? And they're so proud to be a part of the Baton Rouge community. And there's a few great tools that you can take advantage of. You go to pelicanroof.com. And you can use their instant quote tool where you just put in your address, use a satellite imagery, look at your roof. You can select what type of roof you want, and bam, you got a quote all ready. So if you need a roof, you had any damage during the storms, you need to protect against future storms, you want to go to pelicanroof.com. Shout out Pelican Roofing. Baton Rouge Lafayette, winners of the 2019 Better Business Bureau Integrity Award. More OTB next.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1.
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
All right, welcome back in. It is OTB here live from Mobile, Alabama, as we continue to preview the Senior Bowl. Going to go out to practice a little bit later on this afternoon. I believe 11 to 2 is going to be the practice window, so looking forward to that. I am watching T-Bob try to figure out this board and how to call Coach Kim Mulkey, so we see if we can get that done as well. Coach Mulkey and the squad go to South Carolina. Tough loss there, but fought really hard. I think we talked about it before the game. 16.5 was the point spread, obviously in favor of South Carolina. LSU fights in the game, but comes up short, ended up losing there by 10. Then they come back, though, and they get a victory inside the PMAC against Texas A&M. So we'll see if we can get Coach Mulkey here on the air. T-Bob, how are we feeling right now about the technology?
Oh, we're good. We're good. It was for some reason it was just the Bluetooth was not being very discoverable.
Oh, we're going to actually get Coach like.
Well, we have no way. We're here live on set, so we have no way of doing it without.
No,
like,
I love
without
this. We got like a ring. Like it's actually. I hadn't heard it. It's ringing.
Hello.
Yo, Coach, what's up? Hey, we're live. We're live here on air. What's up, Coach? How's it going? Everybody's favorite segment every single week. The legend herself, Coach Kim Mulkey, joins us here on Off the Bench. Coach, how we doing on this Tuesday morning?
Well, we're doing good. I'm getting ready to walk the neighborhood for about an hour and come back and head to the office and see if we can figure out how to win another one at home against a very, very, very good Oklahoma team.
Yeah, by the way, guys, as Coach referenced there, a massive game coming up this Thursday night in the PMAC, 6 p.m., the 13th-ranked Oklahoma Sooners against the 7th-ranked LSU Tigers. Let's start there, Coach. What does Oklahoma do so well that y'all are going to have to be prepared for come Thursday?
Well, I'm very familiar with Oklahoma. Now, I'm not since Jenny has become the coach, but boy, did we have some battles back when I was at Baylor in the Big 12. They're always, always good. This particular team, her style of play, the head coach played at Iowa, and she just has that spread the floor, shoot the three, has probably, in my opinion, maybe the newcomer of the year in Beers. Beers is a big girl inside. We played against her in Maui when she was at Oregon State, and she and Angel had battles inside the paint. You can expect an experienced squad. They push the ball up the floor. They're just good. They're well coached, and they do a lot of things within their abilities. And if, I said, well, they're athletic. No, they're not what you just call athletic, going to blow by you, but they're just hard to defend.
Coach, I feel like every week that we talk with you this season, it does feel like we have some unique game plans. And we talked about Tennessee and the style of play that they have, and now certainly Oklahoma, and then South Carolina last week. They've got a different style. Is this more than normal? And I know that you've faced every single style, but I do feel like in the SEC this year, there's like no two teams that are alike, and everybody's kind of got their own way of doing things.
Well, that is true. If I only have two conferences to compare my career, to, and that would be the Big 12 and the SEC. And if you just ask me on the surface, both are outstanding. The SEC, when people talk about it across the country, they just talk about speed and quickness and athleticism. Well, that's true to an extent, but then you've got the Oklahomas and the people who have come in, the Texas, they bring their own style, as you say. And it's different, but you've got a new coach at Tennessee who brought her own style. It's good for the game, and it just depends on what your philosophy is, what you recruit. I've always believed this. You don't go recruit to what your philosophy is necessarily. I wish recruiting was that easy. You have to be able to adjust as a coach to the strengths of your kids. And we have been able to get people that blend in at LSU or at Baylor, but you can't be so hard-headed that when you see you can't run certain things with certain teams, you change and you adapt.
Coach, speaking of Coach Caldwell over there at Tennessee, she recently gives birth to her son. Not a week later, coaching against South Carolina. I mean,
good game too.
Toughness on display right there. But you gave her a baby gift a few weeks back. Are you willing or able to say what you gave Coach Caldwell?
Oh, sure. It was just like a onesie and some baby. I don't know if it was rattles or whatever. You just go in the store and say, hey, I need something for a newborn boy. I like to tease a lot, and people sometimes take that out of context, but I'll always be me. And I just told them I got her her son an LSU onesie, and they laughed. Did the same thing for the coach, Finley, at Florida. She's expecting a little boy. So why do I do that? I just remember being young, an assistant at Louisiana Tech, having my first, being pregnant with my first. And Pat Summitt just grabbed me one night before we played them, and she just said, don't you get out of coaching. You can be a mother, and you can do this. You got to have a little help. But I just remembered that, and I'm thinking, I'm at the tail end of my career. I'm not a spring chicken anymore. And I thought maybe I'll just give them a gift and encourage them to keep coaching. You can do this, and it's a great way to raise kids around the ball and in a gym.
Man, I just got goosebumps. What a wholesome story. So the generational passing down of wisdom, encouragement from Pat Summitt to you, now to the next generation of coaches. Incredible stuff there. All right, let's talk about a couple of recent results. Again, massive game coming up this Thursday. Obviously, last Friday didn't go the way that y'all wanted it. Before we get to the A&M game, what was your message to the team after South Carolina in terms of what comes next? What did you tell the team?
My message to the team afterwards was the same as before. This is not our biggest game of the year. It might be to the media. It might be to the naysayers. But what this game is one of many tough ones on our schedule. And you're down 10-0 when the game starts because you're on the road. That's the approach I always take.
Oh, wow.
Now, let's go out there and let's see what we can do. When the game was over, the message was, what do you think? Are we any good? Did we just hang on? Did we get blown out? And I made each of them talk about what they could have done individually through the course of a very, very close game. Next time you play them or next time we're on that court, what you can do better, and just talk about it and hold yourselves accountable and walk out of there not too low, not too down. But if we had won, I'd given them the same message. You don't walk out here excited like you just won another national championship. Act like you've been there. And so it was make sure that you don't get too high and you get too low. And we fought. We couldn't score the basketball very easily. But, I attribute that to the defense. I attribute that to people you're playing against. Just like in the A&M game, guys, we didn't shoot the ball well.
Yeah.
A&M is known for their defense. Their defense at A&M is better than their offense. So they have to really, really defend you and be strong and be tough and physical. But that with certain teams. Ole Miss will be another one just like that. They're known for their defense. So you weather the storms offensively. But the things we have done the last two games that I still kind of scratch my head. How do you have 28 offensive boards and hold people below 40% shooting in the last two games? Then you break the record the next game and you have 30 offensive boards. Well, it's a great teaching moment because people don't want to hear offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. But when your offense is suspect and it's not going great, your defense can always be good. There's no reason your defense can't. And your rebounding can always be good. And we've been able to do that very good the last two games. And one, you lost, one, you won, but you were in that one that you lost and had an opportunity. It just didn't go our way.
Yeah, Coach, and I know you have to appreciate the effort because you're right. I mean, Friday night on the road against one of the top teams in the country, your team did fight till the very end, and so you have that. But then you can't really feel sorry for yourself at all because you got to come back on Sunday and face a Texas A&M squad. And so I know you appreciated their fight coming back home and then winning the fourth quarter as well. It's a tight game, and you pull away. You outscore them by 7 in the fourth quarter. And so the resilience that your team showed on really short rest there against another quality opponent, I know you have to appreciate that effort.
I'm not into moral victories. Let's back up, and then I'll talk about what you just said. We were the only team thus far to go to South Carolina's place and play within close to single digits. I think Duke lost by 11. We lost by 10. Getting close to that, just getting closer and closer. But what we did, we held them to 66 points on their home floor.
Yeah.
Now I think it was 66.
Yeah, it was 66-56. You're right.
Yeah, so, I mean, it wasn't a high-scoring game, and that's because you have two coaches who know that you got to defend in the half court. So all this pressing that Tennessee does and all these new styles of play, at the end of the day, both of us are experienced enough as coaches to know that if you're going to ever win a natty, you better defend in the half court. And I just thought it was that type of game. So you come back home, you don't really have the opportunity to get on the floor. We get home late Friday night, and you have Saturday, then you have an early 3 o'clock game on Sunday, so you can't go out on the floor and, just have a killer practice, but you have to get on the floor, get some shots up. You have to defend them. You have to get in the film room. So we had to do all of that on Saturday. And we did okay. It was Alumni Day, and we had over 120 former players there, so it was a good weekend. Well, now we have to flush that. We gave them yesterday off. We don't play until Thursday, and I'm telling you guys, Oklahoma is really, really good. They won the Big 12 last year, and you know how good Texas is, and they beat Texas.
Yeah. And again, Oklahoma's coming up here pretty soon. Tennessee's making a return trip to Baton Rouge. I'm going to Texas. Kentucky's still like a lot of ranked games left to go. A lot of challenges, as Coach said. Friday's game, whatever. Like, ain't the biggest game this season. There's a lot more on this schedule to come. Coach, did you ever think, that little girl from Tangipahoa, did she ever think that she would see the snow that you saw in Baton Rouge last week? What did you do what did you do for Snowpocalypse 25?
Well, I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I did with your children, because I don't care how old we get. If your children are around, you're just going to go back and play with your kids. So I went out and walked to just look outside when I could, and I was like, this is crazy. The only time I've ever seen this is in Colorado when I'd take the kids snow skiing. And then Kramer, my son, y'all know he lives here, and he came over with his roommates, and one of my assistants was here. Two of my assistants came over, and Kramer brought the old football guys. That's what we used to do when we get a little snow. And we threw the football out in the front yard, and he made me take my gloves off so I could get a good spiral. And I said, well, hell, Tom Brady used gloves. Why do I have to take mine off? He goes, Mom, you're always quick-witted. And so we threw the football, but he tackled me in the yard. And I said, boy, if you had hurt me, you would have been in deep trouble. But we had fun and just acted like kids in a candy store.
Yeah, it was. It's something I'll never forget for sure. Very, very, very fun week. Well, Coach, look, we can't thank you enough every single Tuesday making time for us. I know it's an incredibly busy time of year. Enjoy your walk. And, again, guys, pack out the PMAC this Thursday night, 6 p.m., a top 15 battle. Defending Big 12 champs, Oklahoma, coming to town. Show them what the Tigers are all about. Thank you so much, Coach.
Guys, y'all have a good one.
Thanks, Coach.
All right. When we get back here on OTB, let's go ahead and wrap up our number 2.
Off the bench.
I've lost my windows on my computer. I have too much stuff open. But I remind you, go to Tommy's Windows, Doors, and Siding. Go to GEAUXTommys.com. If you need Hardy Plank or Vinyl Siding, wood or vinyl windows, remember these are very energy-efficient options that will pay for themselves over time, because you will save money on your bills because the heat's staying in, the cool's staying in, like your temperature's staying in the way you want, right? You have a faulty door, you need to fix any type of door, we got you. Patios, all of that at Tommy's. They are your exterior home improvement specialist. Tommy's been in this game for nearly 30 years now, and he's working for somebody else for 20. He said, okay, I've got my 10,000 hours. There are things that I would do differently, and every year that Tommy's has been in existence, they've taken home that Angie Super Service Award. Also, remember that lifetime warranties on that was Windows and Siding. So go to GoTommys.com, GoTommys.com.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Welcome back to OTB. Huge shout out to LaBerge Casino and Hotel Baton Rouge, Baton Rouge, for sponsoring our trip out here to Mobile, making sure that we can come cover the Senior Bowl. Very excited to be out here. We're right on the edge of practice. We'll have practice reports. We'll be bringing you everything from the field later. Cannot wait. Cannot wait. It's going to be great. So we got one more hour of OTB coming up. We got Nick Underhill coming on. We got our guy Devin Hold the Mayo. We got our Tay NFL story of the day. So a lot to still look forward to there. Jake, we mentioned okay, two things I want to talk about. First, I don't really have any follow-ups here in terms of, like, I don't think this becomes a conversation, but these are some interesting numbers that LSU fans will be interested in. The Athletic did a write-up on the portal winners and losers over this offseason, and I don't know if I quite appreciated how good LSU's class is. So, yes, we know they were number one ranked or whatever, but LSU led the entire country with 8 top 100 transfers. So if you looked at the transfer portal, the top 100 players in said portal, obviously getting 8 of them basically means, with hundreds of teams choosing to dip their toes in, you nearly got 10% of the players. No other FBS program has more than 6. Now, credit in the SEC, Ole Miss, Auburn, they had 6. Texas Tech had 6.
Yeah.
Sneaky big haul for the Big 12. But credit to LSU for doing such a good job in this portal period. And how about this? I thought this was a great number. 202 starts added to the roster. So you want to talk about proven experience, over 200 starts added to your roster with this portal haul.
Yeah, that means you weren't star chasing in the portal like sometimes a lot of teams can do.
Yeah.
And LSU's done it. Other teams have done it. Hey, this guy was so good in high school. He was a 5-star, top 10 at his position. He's got 3 career starts. He's got 6 career catches. Well, sometimes, high school evaluators, they miss, just like they miss in the NFL, and you're, thinking this guy's going to be this, and he just turns out it's not for him. He's not that guy. A lot of teams will chase that guy in the portal. A lot of times that just does not work out, right? There's a reason why he hasn't gotten on the field. I want starts. I want production. I want a guy that has been through the fire. I want somebody that when we plug him in, we bring him in, he's going to be our guy from day one. And that's what they've done in this class. They haven't really gone out there and got a Denver Harris who we think maybe can be something because he was this in high school. And, look, I think he's on 2 schools past LSU.
Really?
Right? Yeah, I think so. I'm pretty sure he is. So that's not what they did in this class. They went and got guys that are productive in other Power 4 conferences. They have tape on. They've seen them against teams that, on Ohio State out of the Big Ten. Like, they've seen that film. They've seen these SEC players. They have seen them go out there against teams that they're going to be facing here in this upcoming season. So, yeah, I love where they're at. I love that they identified that they had an issue. And they hey, hand up. Like, we have not done our job in the portal. And then they attack it as much as any team this year.
Yeah, LSU, again, 8 of the top 100. So 8% of the best players in the portal going to one school, no FBS program in the country, bringing in more. Here's a conversation to go back to Jim Knowles real quick. Just keep it on a little bit of college football. Penn State goes and hires Knowles. Does this put Penn State over the top? Because this is them clearly trying to show, like, look, we're willing to invest. We're trying to make moves. But, like, the defense was already so good. Like, how much of an upgrade is Knowles, do you think?
He's one of the best out there. I'm not going to act like he's not.
Yeah, he's great, but Penn State was already great.
I was about to say they were
slightly more great?
They were already like a top 5 defense.
The defense wasn't why they lost the games this year that they did.
That was Drew Aller throwing across his body late, trying to throw a dig route.
Red zone offense got him into trouble that first Ohio State matchup.
So they're very creative on offense. They are, and we saw a lot of that this year. Tyler Warren alone, he's in Wildcat. He's lining up at center, and they got the Polecat offense out there against USC. But once everything kind of does become condensed, that offense changes because you can't do as many things.
Yep.
The window dressing changes. You can't have all the fun that they have between the 20s. And so they've got to figure that out. And they got to figure out, is Drew Aller going to be a true dual threat quarterback? Are we going to run him on some of these Q runs? Or are we going to continue to protect him? Because once their backup quarterback went into the transfer portal, like he was the guy that came in and he was the Q run guy. Well, then when he went into the portal, they just stopped doing it. And Drew Aller was sold to us as somebody that was a dual-threat quarterback, and Sean Clifford couldn't do the things that Drew Aller could do. So they got to figure out who they have at quarterback, and then if they figure that out, they got to be willing to go out there and run their offense.
Yeah.
Like, you can't play scared and go win a national championship, and so they got to put all their faith. Drew Aller's coming back for a reason. He's got to be the reason they go play for a national championship.
Hour 3 of OTB next.
Off the bench. Off the bench.
Go to yourgoodwood.com. Goodwood Men's Sexual Wellness. Tell you about it every single day here on OTB. Goodwood, if you are looking to maximize your potential, you're suffering from ED, maybe you're like, man, am I low T? I don't know. I'm walking around, don't have the energy that I used to. If you're balding, we have treatments there as well. The bottom line is we are going to help you reach your best self, your full self, your confident self, your younger self, your peak potential self. So all I want you to do, guys, is take the first step. Call them, go to yourgoodwood.com, set up a consultation, figure out what's going on with your body. Yourgoodwood.com.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Wall-to-wall TVs mean you'll see every touchdown in HD. Place your bets and feel the thrill of every play with our DraftKings Sportsbook. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Good morning. It's 9 a.m. here on Tuesday, January 28th. Today in Baton Rouge, you can expect cloudy skies with a high of 63. In hour 3 of today's show, Nick Underhill of New Orleans Football hops on to talk some New Orleans Saints, and Devin Snow joins the show at 9:15. If you missed hours 1 or 2 of the show, you can catch it in the on-demand section at 1045ESPN.com. You can also follow us on Twitter or Instagram at OTB_ESPN, and watch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel. Hour number 3 of Off the Bench, live from the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert. Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Now, here's Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back to OTB's live coverage of the Senior Bowl in Mobile, Alabama. Shout out to LeBerge, Baton Rouge Hotel and Casino for sponsoring and making it possible for us to come out there. You're looking for a good time. You already know to go to LeBerge. Right now, it's Tuesday at 9 a.m., which means one thing. We talk to our guy, Nick Underhill from New Orleans Football, the premier Saints resource. You can go subscribe to New Orleans Football. I've been a Pride subscriber for years. They've had all the coverage throughout this entire coaching Saints search, one that has many twists and turns. Nick, you just pulled into the parking lot of practice in Mobile. How are we feeling about Senior Bowl week?
Cold, man. I wish it was a little bit warmer than it is right now. Yeah, it's going to be an interesting week, I think, for the Saints. I can't imagine they'll have any of their execs here because they're up in Philly right now. So, I mean, I imagine they won't be here today. We'll see tomorrow. But a different feel. I mean, usually there's kind of like the whole contingent out here, all the coaches, every single person in the organization that feels like it is out at the Senior Bowl. And I think this year it's probably just going to be the Scots unless they fly down here later today.
So I want to ask you about a few things. The first, so Joe Brady says no. At the time, I said, functionally, it's kind of not that big of a deal, right? Because you still have options, you still have guys that lay unimpeded. Like, it's one person. It is kind of whatever. But symbolically, it did cause a lot of reflection upon, okay, how are these Saints actually viewed amongst NFL circles, right? Like, how's the front office viewed? How's the organization viewed now in a post-Tom Benson, post-Sean Payton sort of era? Have you gotten to the bottom of that answer yet?
I think it's an ego hit is really kind of, is how I would put it. I think it's an ego hit if you're the organization, because when you come out, your public messaging is, it's all good. Everybody's wrong. We're not that far away. Get healthy. Everything's all good. Got an attractive job. Don't need to sell it to anybody. And you can sit there and you can say all that stuff to the media and to the fans and, kind of dismiss them as, they're too stupid to see the truth or whatever. Like, and I don't think that's the exact wording, but like, that's kind of, oh, well, these people can be ignored. They don't know anything. Well, when it's Aaron Glenn, who's been in your building and he doesn't want to come down and do your second interview, and when it's Joe Brady, who's been in your building and he doesn't want to come down and do your second interview, I do think there is some sort of value in that opinion that you can't just ignore. It's a quality of opinion that can't just be dismissed as, get these idiots out of here. And I think that's something that you kind of got to take a look at. And even with AG, I think it makes sense. Hey, if you can reconcile Woody Johnson as your owner, more cap space, better roster, it makes sense to kind of go there. Joe Brady just saying thanks, but no thanks to coming down here. I think that's a little bit of a hit. And I think you have to take it on the chin. On the flip side of that, if you want to have the other side of that, I think, if you're Joe Brady and you share an agent with Kellen Moore, and maybe if you know that things are leaning a little bit toward Kellen Moore, maybe you pull yourself out of the situation. I think maybe it makes sense to do that, to kind of not make it look like somebody was picked over you. That stuff kind of matters in today's NFL. You see a lot of people not taking these interviews. And I think also, if you're Joe Brady, just the truth of the matter is, even if you were interested in it, or, interested in being a head coach, or you feel like you could interview better than Kellen Moore and get a job over him, if you're Joe Brady, you're the offensive coordinator of the Bills, you got Josh Allen, you're going to be right back there next year. I don't think it's a Bobby Slowick situation where the bottom falls out on anything. You're possibly the best option on the market a year from now, and you can go somewhere and get your Caleb Williams or, your Trevor Lawrence or whatever. You don't have to tie yourself to negative $60 million in cap space and a short-term option in Derek Carr, and your best defensive players are older than you. I mean, I think that's probably part of the equation too. So for Joe, I think it makes a lot of sense to get out of there. I think it's a smart money move for him to drop out. But if you're the Saints, like, you have to look at it and say, why weren't we in a position to be able to attract him to even accept this interview? And, I think that's something that you have to do some real reflection on.
So, and a lot of times, Nick, speaking of reflecting, like, truth versus perception doesn't necessarily always matter, right? And when you look at it, it's kind of impossible. Like, it's a perfect storm of bad for Mickey Loomis. General public's already mad. They're already doubting him. They already don't believe in him. Then this all comes about. Then you have something unrelated but related in the Trent Baalke story, right? Where Liam Cohen says, no thanks, but secretly maybe letting it be known, I kind of don't like the GM. Okay, they get rid of the GM. Like, how much is this a Loomis problem specifically?
Well, I mean, no, not in the sense of that of where. And look, I know there's stuff that's been said, but I can only report what I know, and what I know doesn't lead me to believe that the rumors that are out there. I can't.
Again, no. Well, you know what I mean? That's why I did the truth versus perception thing, right? Because it doesn't like the truth can be whatever, but people are going to believe that. I think just because what went down with Baalke, how it went down, like you said, people say no to these second interviews in New Orleans. Fact that Mickey's been there forever, like it feels like a perfect storm of not good PR wise for Mickey right now.
Yeah, and like I was just trying to figure out how to word that because like I don't want to say somebody's wrong because I don't know what they know. All I know is I don't know what they know. I haven't been able to get anyone to confirm that. I haven't been able to hear anything, and somebody might just have better information than me, and that happens. Like it's possible, but I just can't. I can't sit here and say like that's the truth because I don't know it, and most of what I've heard leads me in a different direction. But I will say that. I don't think it's an issue in terms of that, but I think in an indirect but also direct way, like, yeah, if you have a situation that isn't attractive to somebody, it goes back to the general manager and it goes back to the negative cap space, the roster that's getting old, the bad draft picks, not having the right quarterback to take you into the future. Like all that stuff is a situation that is created by them. So if you can't get the candidate you want, like I would say, yes, it is an issue related to him. And then also, if you're Aaron Glenn and you can choose alignment with your general manager or like feeling like you're going to work for somebody, you're probably going to choose to go into that with somebody that you want to, that you're aligned with. And that isn't necessarily like hey, get him out of here. But hey, if I can choose between this and this, I'm going to do it with I'm going to go create with my guy. Like, I think that's something too. So, yeah, I mean, I think those things can be more attractive for certain people. On the flip side of that, you saw Ben Johnson choose to go work for Ryan Poles in Chicago, like who's already there. So it isn't always that, but I think all things considered, if there's an even field and it's kind of a coin flip, you probably are going to go that way. So, yeah, I think all those things kind of lead back to that. It's a situation they created. Having said that, I think 3 years ago, when the perception of your team is quite different and you're more competitive and you have a better roster and all that stuff, like I think that it was a much more attractive situation when they had Dennis Allen. They probably could have went out and got pretty much anyone they wanted at that point in time because it didn't feel so helpless. And that's just I think as you look back on it, like I think they missed a big window to take a very, very different swing of the bat at the time for maybe one of the top candidates. I don't know who it would have been at that time. I guess Kevin O'Connell, but I don't really remember him being like Ben Johnson at the time. But I think that's the one that you kind of missed on big time. So yeah, I mean, look, all of it falls back at the feet of the person. But yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same vein, but completely different vein at the same time as far as that Jacksonville comp.
So what does the timeline look like, Nick? Like, what's the last day that you think that the Saints are going to go without a head coach? Like, do you think it's this weekend? Because you mentioned it off the top, and we know we've been here for, 4 or 5 years in a row. Like, the Saints, they're the closest professional team to Mobile, Alabama. I mean, they send everybody to the Senior Bowl. And so, like, you don't have a head coach right now. Practice starts today, and I know you can have people here, but is it the right people? This is a big deal to be here. And so, like, with every day that passes, you feel like you're missing something. You're the only team that doesn't have a head coach right now. So, like, what's the deadline? Like, what day do we get to? Because it already feels like it's past the due date.
Well, I mean, if it's Kellen Moore, it's February 10th, so like it's going to be a little bit, it would be about 2 more weeks. If it's him, if it's not him, I think, Mike McCarthy probably gets hired by the weekend. Like, that would probably be my guess. Of how it plays out. That interview, I think, is supposed to happen end of the week. There was a plan in place. I think the word scheduled would be a little bit too strong, which is interesting. I asked about scheduled and it was pushed back. That's not the right word, planned. Like, so it seems like they were waiting to see how the Kellen Moore thing went to decide to schedule that. So that, I don't know. Connecting dots, reading tea leaves, I could be completely wrong on that, but like that kind of this little thing there makes you think like, oh, like they aren't going to talk to him unless they feel like they need to talk to him, and that might indicate what they're thinking with Kellen Moore at this point in time. So yeah, I mean, look, it is definitely something where if you can have your guys in place, like you can scout something like this. You can take advantage of the interviews. You have your position coaches in here. If Jari Evans is part of your staff, he's working with the offensive lineman, and I think there's valuable insight in that. At the same time, though, I think you can make up for it. Your scouts are out here; they have the interviews. I think you just have to lean on them a little bit more, and I think you can still have a successful draft. But obviously, I think all hands on deck is a much better thing. But if Kellen Moore's the right guy. Like, it's just 2 weeks and you can make up for it. So, yeah, but it's definitely on a different timeline than everybody else. And it's just unsettling. Even if you knew, even if it was one of them situations where it's like, all right, like we know they're hiring Kellen Moore, but they can't officially do it. Just like they kind of know it's settled and it's all in place. And, you have AG not coming down here and Joe Brady pulling out and Cliff Kingsbury, as far as we know, pulled out at this point. I haven't been able to get anything that says that he's taking this interview. That could obviously change and, at a moment. But, yeah, I mean, I think there's just like a lot of insecurity around this right now, just with kind of the way it's gone. It hasn't been a strong process, is how I would put it. It can still end up with a very, very good result. But yeah, to this point, I mean, I think it's just very, very discomforting kind of with how it's played out.
So real quick, and this can be a very simple answer if there's not much there. What is, do you have any details or explanation of the Saints being, quote, unenamored with Mike McCarthy? Or not enamored? I don't think unenamored's a word.
Hey, I'm sorry. You got me?
Oh, yeah, sorry, we got you again. Do you have any, and this could be, again, very quick if there's nothing there, but do you have any details on the Saints being not enamored with Mike McCarthy?
I don't think that's the truth.
Okay.
I don't think that's the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think that's the truth. I think that they haven't talked to him. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how it could be yeah, I guess there's definitely like a level of, we thought the interest was going to be a lot stronger than it is, but I think that he's just kind of like, where's Mike going to go? Like, that's kind of the thing right now. Like, what's he going to do? Like, there's nothing else for him to do. Like, you can afford to have him wait. And I think that they do like him. And I think there's people in the building that really like him a lot. I mean, before he even got out of Dallas, it was someone like, if he hits it, like, yeah, he's going to be somebody that we'll be interested in, was kind of the feedback that was coming out of that. But he doesn't have other options. Jacksonville got hired. I think before the Jacksonville hire happened, there was a little bit more momentum to like trying to get him into the building. Cause like, I think there was a thought that he was going to maybe go there, and then they hire Liam Cohen, and it's just kind of like, all right, whatever. But I think they like him. I just don't think they like him as much as hey, top of the list, have to get this guy. I think it's like, yeah, like he's an option, but we like him as much as some of these other guys. I thought he'd be a favorite. The fact that he's not a favorite and everybody thought he was a favorite, I think maybe what you're hearing now and kind of what's coming out in the reporting is that like, hey, like, yeah, maybe they don't like him as much as everybody else, and that gets overstated because the interest was initially overstated. But I don't think it's true that they don't like him. I would disagree with that wording. I just don't think it's. I think it's just kind of he's the safety school is really how I would put it. I think he's the safety school. And look, the fact of the matter is he. The Saints were kind of his safety school. He wanted Chicago. And I think that slowed down that process at the beginning. Had he not been holding out for Chicago, maybe there is an interview kind of right away, and there's momentum behind that. But I think just kind of the way it played out was he had them on hold, and now they have him on hold. And, like if Mike doesn't get a job this cycle, like he could very easily end up in that Ron Rivera area where you're a good coach, a lot of success, but if you don't get a job this cycle, like that could be it too. So I just don't think Mike has a lot of options, and he just kind of has to wait. And if anything, the way I've heard it is that, maybe Mike's a little bit frustrated with them. Like, I don't think it's really the other way around, but that doesn't mean anything. Like, as soon as they call, he's going to have to show up. He's going to have to take the interview. And if they offer him the job, he's going to accept it.
As always, some excellent insight and perspective from our guy, Nick Underhill, at Nick_Underhill. Nick, thank you so much, brother. You have an excellent day. We'll see you out there practice, man.
Yeah, you too, guys.
All right, take it easy. Nick Underhill, New Orleans Football is the site. Go sign up today. And we'll be back with our guy, Hold the Mayo, next here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench.
Guys, go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, your home for all things cars. The read's so nice, you did it thrice. Shout out All-Star. Okay, if you are in the market for a new vehicle, Toyota certified used vehicle rentals with cheaper per day rental prices and traditional kind of Hit up Miss Lisa Sessions. She's got your back. Located very conveniently right there in Airline Goodwood, and a collision center, service center that is open to all makes and models. Done MB All-Star, done MB Toyota. Good All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Yeah, go there today, and if you're looking to buy new and leasing and renting, we always tell you everything's available, so no matter what your needs are, they're going to be met over at All-Star because they're going to have a vehicle that is going to meet whatever you need it to do. Cars, trucks, vans, SUVs, you name it, they've got it in all three of those processes. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary, for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected, supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team, and backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded, because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1.
Back to sports talk. Maybe. Off the bench.
All right, I forgot to confirm anything with. What's up? I forgot to confirm anything with Deb, so we are going to do something possibly ill-advised. We're just going to call him live. Let's see if our guy Devin Snow, a.k.a. Hold the Mayo, answers.
This is not totally risky, but it's got some risk.
Oh, man. And now the Bluetooth is not connected for some reason.
It's all good.
All right, well, y'all, do something entertaining. Oh, I forget to say.
See, when you say this, here's the problem in
Dance
radio.
Monkey.
Like, here's the problem in
Wait,
radio.
I'm calling Nick Underhill again. Okay, here we go. Last time, here we go.
Here's the problem in radio. Anytime you do that, it's like, okay, like, what do I get into? Do I get into something, like, serious? But then it's like, okay, shut up.
See, don't you wish you had a story about not wearing pants at a children's
Yeah, see, I don't have that for a 12-minute segment. I don't have that. He ain't answering that.
Okay, no, it seems like Dev's not going to come. Bobby kept saying, I want data because of radio. He's listening. Yo, Quad, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing great. Miss you, bud. But I need you to stop being such an a-hole to Mom, okay? Like, stop.
I thought you were going to say lock up the trash throwing.
That's what I was going to say. Every single meal, stop throwing every single piece of food that you have. Like, when you're done with something, you don't have to throw it. When you're frustrated, you don't have to throw it. You don't have to yell and act like a complete psycho. But I love you, bud. I love you, Quad. I hope you're having a great day. And, Kate, if you're out there listening, I hope I'm not making you nauseous because you once told me that talk radio makes you nauseous.
Yeah, that is a quote that, you know, I've heard and I appreciate it, but what do we do? It's something about our face. Like, what do we do about that?
Now Nick's calling me back. Hold on. My bad. Butt dial. Sheesh. What a disaster of a segment. Oh, I know what we can do. A Tay-Tay NFL story of the day.
It's time for Tay-Tay's NFL story of the day. Your daily dose of NFL news from Taylor Sharp.
All right, guys, there's a lot of great quarterbacks in the NFL, but we may be without one next year. So is Aaron Rodgers going to call it quits? He's been mum on his future, and we know Aaron. He's kind of done that the last couple off seasons, but, you know, he was asked recently, Aaron, are you playing next year? Like, yes or no? And he said, well, you know, that's something I'm going to have to seriously evaluate. Then Aaron Glenn was asked about him yesterday at one of his first press conferences since taking the job, and he said, Aaron will be talked about. We'll cross that bridge when we get there. He goes, we're discussing options about Aaron with him, with the front office, and with other players on the team, whether or not they want to be a part of it as well. So it kind of sounds like Aaron Rodgers leaning towards maybe not retirement, but not necessarily going back to the Jets.
What did Brett Favre do to Aaron Rodgers to make him so closely emulate his entire career? Now, even into taking over the offseason news cycle, will he or won't he? Like, does he go to the Vikings next?
Yeah, no, that's what's going to happen. So they're gonna get rid of Sam Darnold. JJ's not going to be ready yet. It's going to be Aaron Rodgers for a year.
Aaron Rodgers.
But remember, so Brett goes to the Jets, and it wasn't great. I mean, it was okay, but it wasn't great.
Exactly.
But he still had some juice left in the tank when he went to Minnesota. I mean, they were, a game away from getting to the Super Bowl.
So what you're telling me is Aaron Rodgers to the Vikings, but it's actually good.
Yes.
Actually good, Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he should. If you can't be good with Jets, you can't be a good quarterback anymore. Like, if Aaron Rodgers were to go to the Vikings and not be good, I mean, then it's just it's all over. Wait, so seriously though, Tay, do we know at all where he would potentially go?
No, but I mean, if you just look at spots that need a quarterback, I mean, the Raiders are out there. You could work with Tom Brady. I mean, there's a number of teams out there that would fight for his services, I would imagine. The New York Giants. Maybe just go right across the street, just cross the bridge a little bit, hang out with the other New York team.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I guess that's true. They don't. What are they going to do? I guess draft Shadur.
They go. I mean,
maybe a little Cam Ward.
Are they going to be there?
I don't know. What pick are they?
Because didn't they ended up playing themselves like into
who, the Raiders?
Six?
Who,
Five,
Raiders
six?
Six.
Oh,
yeah.
the
Raiders
Giants.
Are at 6, yes.
Where the
Giants are at 3. It's Titans, Browns, Giants.
Yeah, the problem is
Cam Shadur.
Who ends up in the Cleveland graveyard next?
A lot of people are saying that it's actually going to be Travis Hunter at 2 for the Browns.
Oh.
So it'll be QB at 1.
Okay.
It'll be QB at 3.
So don't have to spend any resources. They get to get.
So the
one of their
Giants
guys.
would then take Shedeur Sanders and pair him with Malik Neighbors, and
That'd be pretty damn good.
nice.
The only thing I worry about Shedeur from an NFL perspective is how long he'd hold on the ball in college. But that did feel like choice, not like he couldn't read fast enough. He was just always trying to make a play. He's going to have to – same thing Caleb Williams done. And he got him into trouble this year in the NFL. Like, he's going to have to dial that back a little bit.
There was a rumor out there, and I know Bama Gump's mentioning that Jalen Milroe to the Giants at 3 had some steam.
What was that about?
Y'all, if they do that –
Oh, why? Because you got tiny hands? What is this, more big-handed, what's the word I'm looking for?
Look, I can't imagine having a quarterback under 9 inches.
Look at the boys. What are they going to do?
Yeah.
CQ, snap count? What are they doing?
They're going through snap count, quarterback running back
Handoffs?
exchange.
Yeah, quarterback running back
That's what we call that.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah. And they're going through the cadence. You know why? Because half those cats have never taken a snap on the center.
I know. And never taken any snaps with each other or anything.
No.
I'm sorry, what we're referencing here is we're looking through the curtains to our right, and you can see the boys ahead of the first practice today getting in some warm-up walkthrough reps to make sure everybody's on the same page.
Jackson Dart.
I don't see his hands, though.
Oh, yeah, they're not. They're there. You just can't see them. You got to squint.
Coach O to the Saints? Yeah, hell yeah, dude. That would be the best. That'd be the best.
In every interview with a who dat.
Hell yeah, dude. Hell yes, dude. I'm in.
Be good.
All right. When we get back here on Off the Bench, we're going to try cold calling the cannon. See if he answers. More OTB coming up next.
Off the Bench.
Hey, guys, I want to remind you, as always, look, if you are looking for the best waste removal services here in South Louisiana, you are looking for Trash Rangers. And if you live in Livingston or Ascension Parish, you are lucky because you get to make a choice about who handles your residential trash pickup, and you get to pick the local guys who give a damn, because Trash Rangers is part of the community. They're from the community, okay? These national companies, they like to keep the trash here, take the profits out of the state. Not Trash Rangers goes to churches. Literally, it's back funneled into the community. And the best part right now, you can get it for as little as $13.95 a month. That's right, half off, and you get access to the company with 1,000 5-star reviews. You see the red cans popping up all over your neighborhood. So again, you live in Livingston or Ascension Parish, make the switch today for as low as half off. Take advantage of this deal while it lasts, $13.95 a month. And remember, if you're a business owner anywhere in the listening area, we understand the complex and varied needs of being a local business. So if you need a front load dumpsters, empty them from anywhere from 1 to even 6 days a week, giant roll-off dumpster, any project, Trash Rangers is the answer. Go to trashrangers.com today.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one: you. Auctioner Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
At Bayou Automotive, we believe in a sales process that puts you first. We want you to experience an easy purchase with clear pricing and great service. Let Bayou Ford and Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram be your trusted partners in finding your perfect vehicle. The crew at Bayou Automotive is going to do right by you.
When it comes to choosing energy for your family and your home, make the smart choice with natural gas. You can count on efficient and affordable natural gas to keep you comfortable and reduce your
Welcome back to the 9th-ranked morning sports show in America. Off the bench.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Welcome back. OTB, day 2 of the Senior Bowl live here in Mobile. And our coverage is brought to you by LeBair's Casino Hotel, LeBair's Baton Rouge Casino Hotel. Shout out LeBair's. You already know, man. You looking for a great time in the city. You want to go gamble a little bit, maybe have a great meal, go on a little date, spend the night, hang out at the pool, hot tub. It's all there at LeBair's Baton Rouge. And shout out to LeBair's for sponsoring us so that we can be here. All right, fingers crossed, guys. I'm going to cold call the cannon. Hopefully he does not. I think he's going to be pissed off at me, but let's see what happens. Hopefully he answers that. What?
Going to answer.
I do not think he's going to answer.
Yeah, I mean, if it's not in my contacts, I'm not answering.
No, it's my phone.
Oh, it's your phone. Oh,
Yeah.
Oh, we got a chance then.
Yeah.
We got a chance.
Oh, no, I'm not calling from a random number.
I thought you were calling from the station phone.
But it's not, like, ringing?
Oh, boy.
Oh, wait. Hello? No? Hold on. Okay, I'm going to try one more time. I didn't have it turned up, actually. It probably was ringing that whole time. All right, let's go. Come on, Cannon. Come on, you son of a gun. People want to hear your thoughts on the Greek, on Alexander the Great, now that you've been listening to Mania for Subjugation, the new Dan Carlin series, Hardcore History episodes. Come on, Cannon. Wake your ass up. He's still sleeping, dude.
9:35?
Yeah, he sleeps until like 10 every day. He stays up late.
Good for him. God, I really hope he has a voicemail, like where it's him talking.
Your call has been forwarded to voicemail. The person you're...
I'm just mad he no longer has the ringback tone.
What?
For years
did
and
he?
years, he had this stock, like, I would get hit with Mozart every time I would call him. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun, dun, dun.
I've only known 2 people to ever have that, and he's the second. Phillip Rivers has it as well.
There you go. Must be a
quarterback
thing, dude.
Has to be.
Unfortunately, guys, doesn't look like. We'll get the can on later in the week. Okay, I'll make that promise to you. Teams are walking by. If you're watching on YouTube, check it out. You can look behind us, see a bunch of big dudes.
Big dudes with tight backpacks.
Big, hard dowdy. But yeah, somebody said that. It's funny. A lot of high and tight backpacks.
Oh, did they?
For sure.
They wear them so high and tight. Like, I need some comfort in there.
Chill out. You're like what you call it, in the new 21 Jump Street.
Yeah, one shoulder.
Yeah, and you're like
everybody does. I am two shoulder.
Tatum trying to wear like one shoulder, be cool, and now everybody's like, "What are you doing, dude?"
Yeah, one shoulder was definitely the move when I was in school, though.
Oh yeah,
Definitely one shoulder.
Well, I mean, we could talk about the Super Bowl a little bit, I guess.
Oh, the Chiefs again.
Ah, crap. Well,
the same matchup we saw 2 years ago.
Why doesn't the NFL get Taylor Swift to do the halftime show? Is it because she has too much of a rooting interest? I mean, I don't know. This feels like it would just be like 1-1. Maybe it's like she wouldn't want to do it potentially. I guess I have no idea. Are we all cheering for the Eagles though? Is that what's actually happened? Oh yeah, here Rivers. Why don't you pull up a chair? Come on, come sit.
definitely.
Why are you acting like this? You're annoying me.
I definitely think that the world is going for the Eagles.
Yeah, which is wild. The Eagles have somehow, a lot of times
it's nothing to do with the Eagles. I think it's just more to do with everyone's so tired of the Chiefs.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. But a lot of times they say you live long enough, you see yourself become the villain. This might be the only case in the opposite, where the Birds have lived long enough to now see themselves become the good guy, the hero. Rivs, what's up? How's it going?
Wait, who do you think that Jason Kelsey's gonna cheer for?
Oh, that's a real. I mean, he's got. Oof.
I mean, Kylie's for sure cheering for the Eagles.
It's weird, right?
She does not play.
It's weird because if it's
she does not play.
But if it's like if it's your brother's first ever Super Bowl,
I'm
you're
going for my team.
1000% choosing your brother.
Yeah,
but this
your
is not
brother
that.
has such an embarrassment of riches, right? You both already have Super Bowls. Like, I think you actually cheer for the Birds.
I think so. That's your team.
That's fun,
so
though.
Maybe, dude.
That's your team.
Now, not in like a hardcore.
And Travis has won like how many?
That's what I'm saying.
3? Right?
3. No, I think Mahomes has won. Yes, he's won 3. This will be Mahomes' 5th Super Bowl he's playing in.
So at this point,
right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That's a great question there. I didn't even consider that. But I mean, I think you cheer for them, but in not like a you're not mad. Obviously, you're not mad if Trav gets another one. Avo says Jason 1000% has to cheer for Philly. He should wear I can't remember what character it was. Maybe it's from Johnny Carson or his old TV show. Maybe it was a Philly thing. But he should wear that kind of mummers uniform
that he wore for the parade.
For the parade in the stadium. That would be excellent.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like his parents, they're going for the Chiefs. Like, obviously,
it's your kid.
Once your son's not playing for the Eagles and whatever, you hope they do well, but you're going to root for your child. But when you how many years did he give them? 10?
A lot.
Probably.
Yeah.
At least.
Had
10
to be,
years.
dude.
That's his squad. I don't know. Maybe, like you said, if Travis hadn't won one, but he's won 3. He's dating
He got
Taylor
to cheer.
Swift.
He got to cheer for him last year. It was fine.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. You know what I can't believe? So they sell their podcast for over $100 million. And then her podcast
is like number one.
Like number one, right?
She beat out Joe Rogan.
How is that possible?
She's very, very good.
I know, and I'm not even saying it like that. My point is, you're right, obviously, because you can't be number one if you're not. But, how is it possible to where – because,
and she's maintained it. I mean, you can get that bump a little bit at first because, she's popular right now.
Look at Haley Welch, the Hawk Tuah girl. She got to 5th in the world.
Yes. Well, her name is associated,
right?
Talk to her. Yeah. But that was because it got memed, right? Everybody was listening to it.
But her name right now, I mean, she's popular. Jason has his new show. And so, people are talking about her. But that doesn't, you don't maintain that just from the bump.
No, I agree.
She stayed up there. She's very good.
It's just life.
Mm-hmm. But she's funny. She's so funny, and she's so well-spoken, and, she's interesting. And
if they sell – I'm watching the O-line fire off over there. Oh, yeah, boys get it.
Oh, yeah.
If they sell their podcast for $100, though, what are you selling hers for? If you're number one in the world, what's the value on that? A $200 million deal? I have. That's crazy.
Who bought the Kelseys?
I think Amazon. I'm not 100% on that, so you might want to fact check
feels right,
me.
though. It feels right.
But I think Amazon did. I mean, what a...
She's just very relatable. So it's if you're a woman, no matter where you are in your life, she's just very relatable.
But it's even then, it's I guess, I mean...
I don't listen to podcasts.
And I haven't listened to her podcast.
So
I've just seen clips from it, and every clip I've seen has been so funny and interesting. She talks about her kids a lot.
Okay.
She talks about being a mom. She talks about sports.
Yeah.
She kind of touches on everything.
Hawk Tuah was doing great, making the most of her 15 minutes of fame, so she got back with Crypto Bros.
Yeah, she did some weird...
She did Crypto Rug Pull.
She did some weird...
And, it's not like she, led the rug pull, but it's the same thing that happened to the Walking Bets girl, though she's out walking again. But, no, I do love, though, that Welch has just been all right, dude, whatever. I made a lot of money. I'm disappearing for a hot million. Oh, Mac Lindsay says her podcast is under the $100 million deal with the Amazon 100. What value in that buy then? All of a sudden, dude.
Good for you.
Because that would have been before it was number one. I feel like. Yeah, good for you, Bezos.
Yeah, I was going to say, good for Amazon. They need more success.
The Washington Post. Now you own the number one podcast in the world. Just control everything. Why not?
Is he still trying to buy an NFL team?
Well, no. They wouldn't let him in.
Oh, that's right.
They blocked him from the Commanders.
Yeah, true.
That's good. Good for them.
I mean, I thought that was kind of funny because it very much felt like guys who are used to having everything threatened by the one guy who would have been like way bigger than all of them and be like, actually, no, you know what? No, dude, you can't come. Like, it's the only time Bezos can ever get told no.
Yeah.
Basically, and the NFL owners were going to.
Because he's got
know.
different money than even all those guys.
That's what I'm saying. No, nobody.
But then he has rights to games, though.
Yeah.
So, like, he's on top anyways.
He plays the game every week.
Who is it? I can't remember. So his current
job
fiance.
on the broadcast, too. It's wasted on Thursday night.
Like the
tech.
His current fiance, I can't remember her name. You know, we've seen her. She's
Is that
in
the
all
one that Zuckerberg was checking out?
She has her ex-boyfriend, who
Tony
she also
Gonzalez,
has
right?
who she also has a child with. He now works for
Amazon.
Oh yeah, that's
on Thursday
right,
Night Football.
dude.
Yeah.
It's just a weird, weaved circle there.
I don't think I could have sex as good as Tony Gonzalez. I'd be a little intimidated by that ex, you know?
But I think if you have a certain amount of money, you're not intimidated anymore.
That's true. That's probably true. And to be fair, Jeff's, you know, I don't know if it's like the T or whatever, but, you know, there's some pictures of him looking kind of built out there. Definitely more than he was. Toki Doki, yesterday with the actual sports talk. What gave it away? The Talk to a podcast? Was that when you knew?
Is that when you knew?
Sylvain says, Kylie has a brashness that allows for real conversation that more button-up people don't have.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do strike me as my kind of people in terms of their language.
I think it's funny. I mean, have you heard the story that she tells about how she met Jason?
No, how'd they meet?
They met on a dating app. So she was like I don't know if it was Tinder or whatever, but she's like swiping. She's in Philly, and she's like,
Jason Kelce was just on a dating app?
Yeah, so she's like, wait, this guy looks familiar. No, he's playing in the NFL at this point. And she's like, he looks familiar. Wait, she's like, no way. She's like, he plays for the Eagles. I'm like, no way. She's like, this is fake. Like, it's not him.
Gotta be.
They plan to meet up at a bar. And so she's like, well, this will be a good story either way. Either it'll be him or it won't be and it'll be funny.
Yeah.
You know, so she and her friends go. So her friends go with her. They pull up. Sure enough, it is Jason Kelce. And he got so drunk that like 15 minutes into the date, he passed out on the bar.
Oh, my God, dude.
It is Tinder, yeah.
My God.
He passes out on the bar. She still ends up marrying him. You know, it's like she stayed with him. But she was a huge Eagles fan. It was like her dream.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like she was like, how is this real?
The rare cleat chasing opportunity that works out.
Yeah.
My mom, they used to call them a little more demeaning than cleat chasers. They used to call them jock sniffers, which is so funny.
Hate that. Hate that.
I know, right, dude?
Just hate that.
And shout out Toki Doki. That's my guy. He was just messing around. I know, Toki. I got you. All right, Ask the Bench when we get back here on Off the Bench.
Off the bench.
Hey, guys, reminder about Pinnacle Exterior Construction, PECbuilt.com, PECbuilt.com. You need to build the outdoor kitchen of your dreams, outdoor living area, make the backyard of your dreams. Maybe it's a complete custom pool. Maybe you want a bigger and better fence for a little more privacy. You're a golf guy. You love it. You want to put a putting green in your backyard. You want to get rid of grass. You never have to do it. Do turf backyard. Whatever you can dream up, Pinnacle can make happen. Or I would say go to them with a concept. I'm prepared to be amazed by their artisanship, their design work, and then obviously who they're hiring, the cleanup, everything. It's just top of the line every single step along the way. And if you want to get eyes on it for yourself, because I do feel that is actually the best way to understand what I'm talking about, go to PECbuilt.com. Look at the gallery right there on the homepage, and you're going to be blown out of the water, which could be your water if you build a pool. Go to PECbuilt.com. That's Pinnacle Exterior Construction.
Hey, go to the website, PECbuilt.com, for everything you see there on the homepage. Pool, fence, turf, you name it. They can do it in your space, home, or business. PECbuilt.com.
The Windsor Senior Living Community in Mandeville, Louisiana is a beautiful, vibrant apartment community geared toward seniors. They are nestled right in the heart of Mandeville, where seniors live a more carefree lifestyle in spacious apartments with the peace of mind that comes from having a little extra help. Call the Windsor at 985-624-8040 to schedule a lunch and tour. Come see how the Windsor can be your passport to peace of mind.
At Auctioner, we know healing is a team sport. That's why we've partnered with world-renowned orthopedic surgeon Dr. James Andrews to create the Auctioner Andrews Orthopedics and Sports Medicine Institute. Whether you're a professional athlete or a weekend warrior, our team of specialists are dedicated to getting you back in the game. So whatever your reasons are for reaching your personal best, we've only got one. You. Auctioneer Andrews Institute. Long live you.
Jerry and Benny Payne began Central Plumbing Company out of their driveway in Tanglewood subdivision. 50 years later and 4 generations down the road, we continue to serve Baton Rouge and the surrounding areas for all of their plumbing needs. Residential, commercial, industrial, or hospitality, Central Plumbing is here 24/7, 365.
We want to thank our customers, family, and friends for 50 years of success.
And looking forward to 50 more.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
Looking for the ultimate game day experience? Come to the Queen Casino in Baton Rouge. Savor game day platters and snacks, plus drink specials at 1717 Kitchen and Cocktail. So come out for game day and let our team make you the MVP. The Queen Casino, where every moment is a win.
Parish Construction and Roofing.
This is Coach Kim Mulkey. Go to parishbuilt.com for all of your roofing.
Welcome in to the best morning sports-ish show around. Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
All right, welcome back. We're here about to head out to practice as soon as the show ends. As you can see behind us, the convention hall is cleared out. We got walkthroughs going on to our right for the later practice. Very excited. Shout out to LeBerge Hotel and Casino in Baton Rouge for having us out here. The sponsor of the trip would not be possible without them, so we are very thankful for them. Go gamble, guys. Okay, go have some fun. Right now, it's time for Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cole Kurtz Life, Zero Tilter, and Blue Moon Lat Sky. Citrus Sweet. Ask the Bench. Is Tay-Tay talking Alondra's head off in studio? Alondra, hop on the mic here. How's it been? Is Taylor just spewing takes at you all morning long with nobody else to absorb the blows?
Tay-Tay and I have actually been kind of chilling today. The takes were taken like before the show started.
That's well, I mean, he can't help himself. Right when you walk in, he's always got some stuff dialed up.
He has one in the chamber.
But this is good.
There's one in the
this means
chamber.
that Tay-Tay and Alondra, and granted, I guess y'all been riding to work together, so it makes sense. Y'all have reached that excellent point in a friendship where you can sit in silence. That's when you know you have actually made it.
Well, Taylor and I have also like worked together at LSU before I worked here. So
yeah, I knew her before she started here. So.
Years have y'all been working together then?
2021?
Yeah, about 22 years maybe.
All right, ask the bench, fried oysters or fried shrimps? Fried shrimp.
Shrimp. I want my
oysters raw. Yeah.
Ask the bench. Let's see.
I'm not turning down like a fried oyster.
Right. But preference, raw oyster, fried shrimp.
Taylor and Alondra, Daniel wants to know what's the best part about me and Jake not being in studio.
I've said it many times that I don't like when y'all aren't in studio. Like, I actually find it very boring. And, yeah.
I mean, this is easy for me. The obvious answer is that T-Bob's not here. Like, that's easy.
He's escaping the daily and incessant bullying that I heap upon him. Ask the bench, will there be any whiskey and wine for this year's LSU baseball season? If, the big games.
Did y'all do that last year?
No,
okay.
last year, but we certainly did during the Natty run. I'm always down, that's just about, sponsors and do they want or not, because those were some of the most fun shows that we did. The night in which they won the national championship at Don Juan's is one night that I will always remember. I mean, we were straight cutting up in there, dancing,
as opposed to what you normally do up there.
But it was it was even different though, because I don't know, it was awesome. It was the best.
I think that whole run was fun because there was different portions of it. It was the Wake Forest game, then it was a Florida game, and then you had kind of 3
Tennessee
that you celebrated, right? I mean, Harlow literally came right after Tommy Tanks hit the walk-off against Wake Forest. That's something obviously never forget.
Is the Saints franchise officially worse at this point than they were before Sean Payton and Drew Brees? I say yes.
I don't know, y'all. We were wearing bags over our heads.
I know, I was about to say. I mean,
I don't think.
What are we doing?
I don't think it can ever be worse, simply because you've proven what you can do. As Taylor pointed out, now that the Commanders have made a conference championship, the Dallas Cowboys are, I think, the only team maybe in the NFL, but definitely in the NFC, to not make a conference championship since they last won a Super Bowl.
Yeah. Yes, so that is correct. Also, the Philadelphia Eagles had more rushing touchdowns against the Commanders on Sunday than the Cowboys had all year. So keep making the big wins there, Jerry.
Also, we were talking about Kenny Pickett earlier. He has more championship wins than Dak Prescott does. And Dak Prescott did.
Wait, what about what did Jerry? Did anybody? I didn't understand the glory holes comment from Jerry yesterday.
I don't think I know what you're talking about.
He knew what a glory hole was.
What did he say?
He said there's a small percentage of the reaction that's all smiles and glory holes.
Jerry does not know what a glory hole is.
I've seen some of the pictures of how Jerry gets down. I'm not willing to say that Jerry doesn't know what a glory hole is. I know.
Do you think Jerry's just reached old guy status where he's just saying whatever he wants?
Oh, I mean, I think Jerry Jones has been saying whatever he wants for 30 years.
I was about to say, he's probably been there, but now that he is older, he feels like I can get away with him. 80.
Is tonight karaoke night, or is that tomorrow night?
No, that's not a this trip thing.
No, that's not. We don't do karaoke here.
I'll do that at Media Day, right?
Yeah, I'm excited for a little Floriditas tonight, though. I think we're going to go over to that Mobile Speakeasy that I think is so cool.
I'm really sad that we're going to miss tango night or salsa night or whatever. I know you're disappointed.
Chat is saying, salsa night. They teach you how to salsa.
They clear all the tables out and teach you how to salsa.
Is that what it was last time y'all went?
No, it's never been.
Sadly,
there.
we keep
you've
missing
never
it.
been.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I got
I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to know how
to salsa.
To know how to salsa.
Mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm.
I don't know one step.
They and you show up at Florida's and they have fedoras there for you, so it's not
really
BYOF. You
Did you
don't
wear
have
one
a
last
fedora for you.
I don't think I did. I'll wear one this time if they offer me again, though. Hey, guys, shout out to LeBears for having us here on site. Shout out to y'all for hanging out with us all morning. Hit the like button, sub to the channel. Of course, you can find OTB Saints, OTB LSU on both podcasts and YouTube channels. It's all there for you. Great job of the guys back home holding down. Great job, Rivers, here on site. We love you, and we'll see you tomorrow for a brand new episode.
Off the bench.
Go to K to Z window coverings, KTOZblinds.com, KTOZblinds.com. You want window coverings at WOW, you want K2Z. Brandon Barton, like I said, man, you're talking about a company built from the ground up, nearly 30 years of experience. It comes into your home, lets you know exactly how the sunlight interacts with your home, and so if it's shutters, drapes, shades, whatever the case may be, drop-down exterior shading like Jake got, where he presses a button, it drops down, he's grilling on the Blackstone and chilling. It's all there at K to Z window coverings.
Go to the website, KTZblinds.com, and T-Bob's right. I didn't really even know what they were going to be able to do in my home, but they came in and they knew exactly because they have a plan. It's going to be like a 5 to 10 minute process. They're going to know your space better than you know it. They're going to, be able to offer you things like an outdoor shade that actually shades the living room as well. They're going to blow you away. Have Brandon and the team out, K2ZBlinds.com.
Got chores that need some extra muscle, but a large piece of equipment is overkill? That's what John Deere compact utility tractors were made for. Powerful enough for the work you need to do. Compact enough for how you need to do it. Find the equipment that's right for you at Sunshine Quality Solutions. Check out our current promotions and learn more about what it means to be powered by sunshine at sunequip.com.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.